Yes, people, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to the Blue Morning Show on Chelsea Perspective. And with that, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but more importantly, welcome back to the Blue Morning Show and Blue Morning to you because indeed it is the Blue Morning Show. And today we have quite a few things to talk about. We'll talk about the possibility still of Chelsea Football Club to sign Ousmane Dembele and Jules Kounde, plus other updates we have for you. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. And please pardon me while I take a sip of my coffee because it is 3 a.m. here, 3:15 a.m. So I need to wake up properly and I don't sleep on you. Ty, how you doing, brother?
And I don't know. I feel extremely stressed.
You're concerned.
Yeah, especially for Kunde. Dembele, I'm not really that concerned because I think that there's a strong chance that happens with Kunde.
Mm-hmm.
And considering the fact that the deal is so simple, I have never seen a transfer be so easy. All you need to do is just make that offer, and Sevilla has to accept it if it means the demand, and they're not doing it, and I don't understand. And Barcelona, like I was saying yesterday, have gotten their injection approved. So that means that eventually they can, you know, go in for players, and they want to sell De Jong, so that just frees up more space for new players, and they're gonna get registered Kessie and Christensen. They'll try to get Alonso and Aspi, and
Mm-hmm.
the one couldn't they? So it's stressful for me because this I'm tired of this nearly every summer. But you know what? I don't want to bring down the mood.
Yeah, believe me, your concerns are understandable, and I'm going to say this first. I bought a trailer of tissue because I know there's going to be a lot of tears in the chat today. Um, I hope one trailer of tissue will be enough, for people to wipe their tears. But I think we shouldn't even panic. I think we should be all right. But that's by the way. Let's start as usual, as we usually do things here on Chelsea Perspective, which is to look at what the people in the chat are saying and how they're doing. And here we have a phantom of many topics. He says it's fought to hit. At least you're making it to the Champions League this time. You're fought to like the video. It's a good thing. So congratulations to you, Phantom. You made it to the Champions League. Good morning and Blue Morning says Sutra. Nice to see you. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope things are okay on your end. Blue Morning Sutra and Blue Morning to you too, Lamb Len. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are well on your end. Blue Morning Coach and everyone in the panel. Same to you, brother. Mo says, when do we start to panic? Our rivals have already brought three players. I'm talking about Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and even Arsenal. We need to hurry up.
Yeah,
I don't need. I don't think we should, go for signings in a hurry. So just calm down, brother. Calm down more. I'm letting a lot of
that's
people
one.
getting worried that Todd Boehly is already making excuses not to spend money by, doing a lot of talking about the FFP. No, I think it's fine. Gary Milburn says if they doing due diligence on players, that would do for me as long as they get the players the gaffer wants and not the players the board wants. That's the most important thing. That's the most important. I gotta say, this is the first delicious comment today, because the truth is, as long as they're doing the right thing, as long as they're looking at the players the manager wants, that's okay. That's fine. And the manager understands. I think Thomas Tuchel, you could say he isn't one of those to spend too much money on players if you followed him. So, but we'll see what happens because he's a numbers man too. So you could say that him and Todd Boehly and the Clearly Consortium are a match made in heaven. But we'll see what happens. It's early days, okay? It's early days. We're still five. The transfer window still has months to go. Blue Blood says not sure what Mo is worried about. Chelsea have won the race to sign it. He's being sarcastic there, I guess. Good morning. I want to say I'm in a panic and nervous mode in this current in the current situation on Chelsea being quiet, not doing business. You could say you not knowing whether the club is doing something or not. I think that's the better way to phrase it. There's no guarantee. There's no way you'd say you're sure they're not doing anything. But I understand your concerns. Okay, so if anybody in the chat needs a tissue, I have one. But all I'm going to say is just calm down. We will be all right. Good afternoon, bro. As a Chelsea fan, I'm very upset the way our transfer system is going right now. As it stands now, the only available striker that's available now is Osimhen. Yeah. We can't get Osimhen. Napoli paid 80 million plus for him, and I don't see us paying anything north of 100 million, which I'm sure Napoli will be asking for. And Smith David, nice to see you again, my brother from India. I am mad that the club said, business before. Calm down, people. Calm down. Arsenal just got Gabriel Jesus, and I'm gonna get Telemann as well. What are we doing? You guys, here's the thing. I'm going to rephrase your sentences for you. You guys are all just pissed that you're not sure what the club are doing. At the club, are we doing something behind the scenes? For sure. It'd be stupid not to. After all, we've lost like 3 players. Okay, so calm down, guys. Now, let me keep reading. I'm going to skip it. If I've read some of your comments, I'm going to skip it. She says Kounde is going to Barca. I'll tell you why that is not going to happen. The new owner of Chelsea is just looking for excuses to spend any money during this window. We'll see what happens. Fuck to hit the like button. Yeah, you're going to the Champions League, so you made it to the 4th place. Blue morning, everyone. Please make sure to hit the like button, says my brother from the Other Time podcast. He has a YouTube channel, and I want you to go check it out. And be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I'd really appreciate it if you can do that. Now, is this countdown? I don't know. I am only panicking because at this rate, there will be only one left. Okay, we'll be all right. I'm just going to get to the bottom quickly, except if I haven't read your comment, I will try and read it. If I've read your comments, I will skip it to get to the bottom so that it's balanced. And I'll continue reading everybody else's comment. Grapakin, they will spend. Every new owner wants to make a statement, that's for sure. But I think he's just being strategic about it, not to just throw money at players. Rice will not come to Chelsea. He cannot play as a lone DM, will not fit in our system. We'll see what happens. The question I'm asking, where is the 200 million? I think it's going to be even twice as much as that. You see. Did Bayern and Liverpool come to an agreement for signing money yet? No, I don't know. I'm not sure. The 200 million doesn't have to be spent immediately. Thank you very much, Gary Milborn says we are upset right now. I know you guys are upset, and that's why I told you guys I ordered a trailer of tissues for those that are going to be crying in the chat. And my brother CFC Fahim says, blue morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. We are well, but you will help me distribute the tissue in the chat. Again, CFC Fahim made it to 1,000 subscribers yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not sure, but congratulations to him. He deserves it because he worked really, really hard to get that. If you haven't, please let's support him even more so he can get at least 1,100, 1,200 as soon as possible, or 2K as soon as possible. He is a great content creator. So go check out CFC Fahim YouTube channel. Philip Smith says, okay, I'm going to skip quite a lot and get to the bottom so I'm more caught up. Chelsea are targeting 2 new senior defenders. Jules Kounde has been the top target for more than a year and should be one of first arrivals. I guess you can phrase it like that. How many players Chelsea have bought? Chelsea haven't bought any players yet. If they've done so, we don't know. Maybe they've done so behind the scenes. Again, Ty, I want to start us with something here quickly. This one right here. Let me see this one. It says, here's, I think, Barcelona's priority, first of all. Let's say that. Except Barcelona's priority is to get Lewandowski. You could argue that they are fine in the defensive department, but maybe because they've asked, what's the senior defender? um, Shakira's husband. What's his name again? Ty, are you there?
Sorry, what defender?
Shakira's husband. What's his name?
Shakir. Oh, PK.
Maybe because they've asked a PK to leave, maybe now they want a replacement. And the truth is, like for like, and even better, because you could argue, what's his name? Jules Kounde is better in terms of the way he's able to exploit spaces. You could argue he has a better leap in him than Gerard Piqué, but that's no guarantee that he's going to Barcelona. Here's the thing: if Barcelona tries to sign Kounde, I can assure you that what Chelsea would do is not to let Alonso and Cesar Azpilicueta go to Barcelona. Yes, they will live on a free come next season, but Barcelona would have to spend more money to buy cover for those positions. So I don't think they'd risk it. It will cause serious friction between us and Barcelona, and they'd probably be the ones to suffer the most, if you ask me. Again, so I don't think it will happen. But Ty, let me know what you think.
Honestly, what you just said is just giving me wishful thinking, and I honestly don't know. Yes, the priority is Lewandowski because they want Lewandowski, and the feeling is mutual between the both of them. Lewandowski wants them, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not like that it's impossible to get him because nobody else can get him because he's rejected everybody else who's come in for him. The thing is with Jules Kounde and for like you were saying with PK, Jules Kounde has been compared to PK for a very long time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people look at him as a PK, and he's better on the ball than PK is, and like you were saying, he's better early in the air
Mm-hmm. He's
end
got
as well.
a better lip than PK.
Yeah, and he's a good goal threat when you have corner kick. So it's it's something that if he came to Chelsea, it would have benefited them in both situations because he's good on the ball and he's good early, even though
Mm-hmm.
people say he's short. So I think I honestly don't understand why the situation is like this because like I'm saying it's one of the easiest transfers you'll ever hear about in football. The agreement has literally been there with the player. It's just to make that offer because we had that agreement since last summer and we're not doing it. I don't understand, but I just hope that things work out in our favor because it doesn't mean that he's going there right now. It just means that there's a strong chance because we're not making that bid. If you make the bid, then maybe we're in contention. But right now, it's Barcelona who will have the lead because they're ready. They have their injection done, so they have the freedom to make
But we
those
did we
offers.
did we did the mathematics yesterday, and even after the injection, they'd still be in a minus or so, didn't we? Didn't we calculate that?
Actually, yeah, because they have 7 billion. I think the debt that they have is 500 million, and then an additional 160 or 150,
Mm.
and then at the end of the year they could end up having 160 debts again. So if you do the maths, man,
That's simply not going to be enough.
and they have to register players as well. But that's why I'm saying that they're looking to sell De Jong. If they can sell De Jong, that means that they can register Christensen, Kessie, Lewandowski can come in as well, and they can look to get Alonso and Aspi, but all of that is 50-50 because like you were saying, if they get Koundé, I don't think Chelsea are gonna give them Alonso and Aspi, which for me is gonna be unfortunate because I really think that in order for us to get a competent competitor for
Mm-hmm.
Chilwell,
Mm-hmm.
Alonso cannot be in the team because we're not gonna have space for that one. So it's complicated for Chelsea and in a way that it shouldn't be because they have this assumption that because the player has rejected other clubs before for Chelsea, they can just leave him last and then go for the other targets and then come back to him and then give him that made that bid, which makes no sense because you do things last minute. It's foolish. You can't do things like that. When you do things last minute, everything crumbles. So I don't understand why the club is deciding to put this transfer in jeopardy when it's the easiest one and the one that they should have gone over the line from a very long time ago. I just don't understand it.
Here's the thing, Ty. I just think you're accusing the club. Again, you don't just go in and give this should. I don't think they should just go in and give Sevilla how much they're asking because we need defenders. And after giving Sevilla how much they're asking, we still need three more defenders. What are you going to do about it? You have to answer that question. So it's not that simple. Listen, we fail to understand, first of all, the club is a business. And it annoys me whenever I'm talking to some Chelsea fans. Usually they go something like, if they hear their fellow fans saying, I think it's too much, they ask you, why are you saying that? It's not coming from your pocket. But it's coming from somebody's
What?
pocket and it's somebody's
Why
business.
would you say that? I never understood that. You're gonna
Exactly. So again,
that's foolishness because
yeah.
that's redundancy. You want the club to spend any amount of money, and then when they don't have enough money to go to sign other players, you're gonna
Mhm,
complain. That makes no sense. I'm never gonna be like, oh, it's not
mhm.
coming out of our pocket, so who cares? They can spend 100 million, it's not coming out of our pockets. That's stupid
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that's taking up most of the budget.
Yeah, so the way you do things is just you go first with how much you're willing to pay, and if the selling club doesn't accept it, then you go in with an improved bid. That's how you do it. I know
Yes,
we
and
need
they've passed that stage. That's what I'm saying.
exactly. We
That is
need
why they
reinforcement.
made that
We
42
need
million bid.
we need reinforcements in the defensive area. So that doesn't mean we should just go in there and give them everything they want.
Yeah,
What are you going
find
to
a
do? The other
compromise.
clubs that we want players from, they also understand because they see us as they see what they think they believe we're desperate right now, which you could argue we are. So we need to, should I say, thread carefully. That's the way we go in for a player, especially in the defensive area. Clubs are not stupid, and if we come for their player, they say, okay, this is how much we want, because they see us as desperate. So, but that's, by the way, again, my point is, I don't think Barcelona would do that. If they do it, then they should forget about Cesar Spilicueta and Marcos Alonso, because Cesar Spilicueta will stay in case if we didn't get any player in that position. He's the most experienced to help, at least hold down things for us until we'll sign another player. And then again, I don't think Barcelona would want that friction with us. But that's, by the way, if you're in the chat, let us know about what you think the possibility of Barcelona signing Jules Kounde, because I thought about it and I say, yes, this guy, you could say he will even do better than PK for them. You could argue that he's better at exploiting spaces than PK is. He's got a better leap than Gerard PK. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to try and catch up with the chat immediately. Rodrigo Rogers says, honestly, I'm not yet panicking, but I fear the worst. I don't know. What do you want me to take from that statement, Rodrigo? You're confusing me. Kounde is going to Barcelona. I don't think that's going to happen. If it happens, then we'll see what happens anyway. Why is everyone panicking? We got 2 months to spend 230 million plus. Yes, that's the
Because
thing. They still,
there's limited players out there. That is why people are panicking. It's not
yeah.
because they're not patient. It's that,
Mhm,
for example, Jules Kounde. If Jules Kounde goes to Barcelona, who are they gonna go for? Which top target is out there who has the versatility of what Kounde would have brought if he came to Chelsea?
mhm,
It's not a case where they're panicking because they don't have patience. It's that the patience that they have is that
mhm,
those players that they want or the players that would suit the system or players not going to other clubs because they can't see any movement. And I
mhm,
keep saying that even if you're trying to settle in, it doesn't mean you can't make a 1 million bid for something. At least show something that you're doing something to say that, oh, they just made at least a bid. That could give fans assurance that they're actually
No, are
planning to
you
do
saying we
something.
haven't we haven't made a bid for Juskin? We've made a bid. We made a bid of
No,
40
I'm no,
million.
I'm just using that as an example because we
Mm-hmm.
have. It's because we made a 42 million bid. It was rejected, and then that is when we found out because that's what number one clubs do when they're not sure about the price that is being placed on the player. They make a smaller bid, and then you'll see what the club wants. And then we found out that it's uh 65 euros. So that would translate to 55, 59 million
Mm-hmm.
pounds. So that means in that regard, he found out what the price is. And I mean, the suit they can find a compromise because if they sign him, he has to. It's going to take him a while before he can even. I don't remember how this works, but if he signs, is he able to do the medical after because he had surgery?
Yeah, yeah, I think he should be able to do that. Instead,
Yeah,
he
so
will be
so that
delayed a
means
bit.
that would mean he could still do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have him on it. But I think that they want to find like a, I don't want to say compensation, but like a smaller fee because the fact is that he has this, surgery thing. So it means that his price should be affected and it shouldn't be increased. It should be a bit decreased, even if it's for 5 million less. Because we're going to be getting a player who is not going to be available immediately for preseason. He's going to take him a while.
I'm learning that was why Chelsea in the first place
Yeah.
is beat how much they did beat for because they knew all the while that he was nursing that injury. But that's by the way. Let me catch up with the chat again. Fahim is laughing at us. Barca are going to have a better window than us. Again, Ty, do you think I should block him?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's by the way. Let's go ahead here. Chelsea targeting Baldes as well from Barca. Are you talking? Is it the guy Alejandro? Is that the guy? What position does he actually play? Playing? I don't know
He's a
him
left
that
back.
much.
He's a left
Okay,
back.
I left back.
He's
Okay,
18.
so okay, as things stand, if Tuchel gets us to top four next season, he deserves a night. Rodrigo has joined the bandwagon of the Panic FC. Again, relax, Rodrigo. Chelsea will be lucky to sign a player from Accrington. Again, Stanley. Oh my goodness, it's getting worse. That's why I said I ordered a trailer of tissue for those that are going to be crying in the chat, and it's getting worse right now. If you had to choose two of the three, who are you taking out of Koulibaly, Ligt, and Kounde? One person there, I'd take Ligt. Why? Here's why I take Ligt, because we have Duchenstein coming back, who can, you could say play in a. No, I don't think it makes sense. I want a specialized defender there, but I still say Ligt again. I think he's younger, right? He's the youngest of all, and he's capable of playing on the left, on the right. He's capable of leading the back three. He's capable of playing, within the middle area when we play for the back system. So I take Ligt anytime, any day. Again, this is just people having conversations. Good morning, please. How are you? Why is going on? What is going on? What is going on at Chelsea? Shedrack and Kuruma. I'm guessing you're from Ghana, but everything is fine. Just calm down. It's only natural that most of our fans are panicking because other clubs are signing players. Again, there hasn't been. It should be around 10 signings at this point, or 11 at most. So we're good. Just calm down. Believe me, I've said this a million times, but I'm going to repeat myself anyway because that's why we're here to help you understand the situation and be as calm as possible. Here's the thing. I can assure you that the club, those in charge, are well at work behind the scenes or are working under the radar, if you prefer. Petr Cech did put out this speak. He spoke it, and if you listen to his speech, he said he practically lives on the phone. Plus, it's going to be a busy summer for us. And he's not going to tell you we're looking at player A, B, C, D, or E. But here's the thing: he's at work, and it doesn't have to be. We don't have to get Kounde, but he comes to Chelsea. If anything, if he goes to Barcelona, there are other targets. It may well, that we can look at and get. There are other targets who are able to play in that position. Ligt can play there. And Ligt to me counts as a Mackie signing. It's probably, I think he should be taller, even more taller than Jules Kounde is. So again, there are other targets we've been looking at, and look, we don't know everything. And again, let me rephrase most of your comments there. Some people are saying that they are not happy that the club haven't signed anywhere. Here's what your sentence should be. You're not happy because you don't know the players, our club, who we're looking at. That's just that. Lukaku will have a medical next week. Todd, Todd, you're asking me this. I'm going to celebrate it not because he's a bad player. I'm going to celebrate it because a marriage that hasn't worked, a marriage that we've seen that is the opposite of marriage made in heaven, we've all seen that isn't working. It's coming to an end. Both parties maybe find a better partner. Chelsea find a player that will work for them, and Lukaku will go to a club where the manager will be willing to adjust the system to accommodate him. It's as simple as that. So it is nothing. I
Maybe
hold
they should
nothing
stop.
against him.
Maybe they should stay single.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe they should stay single.
Yeah,
No, Chelsea can stay
they've
single.
been married 10 times with strikers,
Mm.
and none of them have worked. They need to stay
Here's the
single.
thing. No, Chelsea can stay single, but Lukaku cannot stay single. If
Yeah,
Lukaku stays
he's
single,
never
it's not going to go to
satisfied.
It's not going to go to the World Cup. If you get the analogy, so he needs to get married to go to the World Cup. But that's by the way. Again, we should be talking about the players we have in the squad, loan and academy products. We are competing for top 4 next season. Boehly should be smart. Kounde deal is smart. Make it happen. Make it happen doesn't mean that we should, make them a part owner of Chelsea Football Club because we want Kounde. You still have to play smart. And again, had it been under Roman Abramovich, I'd be thinking, but even towards the end of Roman's era, we've stopped throwing money at problems like that. We negotiate. Marina, she does negotiate for the best for the club. So that would be especially true under our profit-focused consortium, the businessmen. Clearlake, Todd Boehly, Weiss, or however you pronounce his last name, they're all business focused. But again, I know that they're not allowed to take out profits, but right now they have to invest quite a lot. But one thing I like is that they have to invest wisely. They're not just going to be throwing money at defenders because we want defenders. And I am going to repeat myself again. If you give Sevilla what they want, other clubs will see it. And when you come to them, there's signs of desperation. And you could argue we're desperate because we lost 2 defenders and we may well still lose 2. Those cannot leave even if the club accepts to let them go. But they may well still leave. So let's see it like that. Hi, Declan. Have I even said hi to my brother Declan? Declan, I hope you're doing well. But I looked at the comment and Ty was speaking then. So I apologize if I didn't say hello to you. Malcolm Kago says, we sold Tomori, Goahi, Abraham, Liverman to fund Lukaku transfer and later make a 95 million loss. We need a better sporting director. Here's the thing. I think of all those players you mentioned, you can argue only for Tomori that I'm not sure. Most of them wanted to leave the club. You can't keep them. If you try to keep them against their wish, they'd run down their contract and leave on a free. So it actually isn't that simple. But good comment anyway. Good morning to all Chelsea fans here. I hope everyone is well. Please, all Blue fans, to have a patience and believe in what the club can. Yeah, exactly. So just be patient. That's another delicious comment, by the way. Tomori and Abraham sells hot's bad. I think, maybe I'll say it like that. But it was what happened. You could say was good for their development as young players. If they're not gonna be played at the club, you should let them go. Tochukwu King says, Guy is kind of coming. Guy, wait until you see him holding the shirt. Anything can still happen. Barca has a chance to snap him up if they have the money. But the truth is, he may still come to us. Okay, we're confident. Yeah, Ty, you were saying something.
I want to say that, and something that I don't know. I'm just trying to. I like to be optimistic, and I try to give myself some hope. So what I'm thinking is that we've seen what can happen in the 11th hour. One minute you'll see that this Spurs close to it. The next minute something crumbles and something happens and the deal falls apart. So all I'm hoping is right now, just like with Henderson at Liverpool, they were going to give him a contract, and then it didn't work out, and he's going to be leaving. Gini Wijnaldum, he was gonna go to Barcelona. Was it Barcelona? And then he ended up going to PSG. Then he went to PSG. Darwin Núñez, he was linked to Man United. And out of nowhere, although I think the interest from Liverpool was there before, out of nowhere you hear that that deal has crumbled and he's going to Liverpool 2 days after that he signed with them. Things, those little tiny things right there, that gives me hope that, even though Barcelona are attractive, they have
Hmm.
history that can attract players. If Kounde actually had an interest and he's willing and he was willing to join the club since last summer, if
Hmm.
Chelsea come in, try to explain their plan and the project that they're trying to build, and say that he can play an important role in that. You never know, he could do it. And plus, we see what we did with Mikel and Willian. We can always sweep in at last minute and do something. It's all down to if the club is willing to do whatever needs to be done.
Yes, again, I have to make my point. I'm not sure if you can hear me because my screen it looks like my screen is frozen again. But I think it'd be all right in a bit. I had just something. I turned on an application I used to monitor what's going on Twitter, and it just froze my screen again. But that's by the way. Again, I've made my argument. I think Chelsea are still confident, from what I'm hearing, that they're going to land their man, and the man wants to join us. And I think every other thing we're hearing that he'd already agreed terms with Barcelona. I think I still see it as absolute nonsense. Again, we've talked about, and even Max from Button Ballers joined the panel to explain to us that's what the Spanish media, that's what they do, and they have links to those clubs. That the players are being linked with, so they use them, to push the propaganda to get a better deal, get more money, or buy a player for less. That's what they do. And with that, I want to say hello to the Queen of the House, just Viola. I hope you're doing well, and I hope things are well with you. And if you're watching right now, we have just 37 likes, where we had around 110 people watching a minute ago. So please keep liking the video. It is for free. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. I prefer you liking the video than even donating to the channel. The likes go a long way for the channel. Here's how the likes works. The more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the more the stream will be pushed to people who would be interested in the particular topic that we're talking about. And we have more people here on the show, and more fun it will be, and more people will subscribe to the channel, and we get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Right now we're at 2,949, so we just need 51 more subscribers to get to 3,000 subscribers, and I know we can do that today. Says hi everyone. Let me see if there's anything else to read. If not, I'll come back to the panel. And it's landscape coach. No matter what way you look at it, we are negotiating over a year for Kounde. So if we lose out on him now, it will look very bad on the Marina. Again, you could argue that, but then again, what if? I think it was Lee that said this yesterday. What if Barcelona signs Kounde and he ends up, half of the season, or half, in a year time, it turns out that half of the, 90% of the time he was on the treatment bench. Then you say Marina is a genius. You could argue that the reason we're being reluctant to give them the money they want is because of the injury. And I think somebody else has also said that here. So I think we're still fine from what I'm hearing. As long as Chelsea can agree a fee with Sevilla, we're good. And here's this again. You have to always know this. The player wants to come to us. Yes, we're hearing that he's chosen Barcelona over to us. I still think that's absolute nonsense, but we'll see what happens. I would make Lukaku stay at Chelsea and make him rot his career away. Again, you're hurting yourself. You'll be losing money, and then you're not going to even get even a cent from how much you spent on paying him. And if you try to punish him that way, at a point himself, and why are you trying to punish him? Because you could argue it's not his fault. So it wouldn't make sense to try to punish the man when you know it's not his fault. Because if you try to do that, at one point, he'd resign to, taking the punishment and say, okay, I'm going to sit on the bench here and you're going to keep paying me how much you've agreed you're going to pay me. And there's nothing you can do about it. We've seen players do that. Okay. Says top two having Mackie signing, and we want Baldi, a young 18-year-old left back who can break into the Barca 11. Again, there's nothing to say that we really want the player. that may well be just some nonsense that the media are pushing. What he did to the club is unforgivable. Again, I wouldn't even talk about it. Back at 200 million for March last night, 500 million mil for TV rights. They can wipe their debt. They may well do the Kounde and the Ligt. For me, those two, I think, will still get them. I don't know how serious we're about the Ligt, but the rumors are that we're leading the race to secure his signature. Barcelona taking the piece. Why did I even start reading that, John Langford? There was a lot of reports yesterday that there's going to be a statement coming out on Marina that she is leaving. So this could be a reason for the lack of business in the transfers. Who would take such risk and not have anybody to be doing the negotiations for you? We'll see what happens. Blue Money into you. Okay, just saying hello. Says, what's it saying? Merintarial Demiral is better than Kounde and he is cheaper.
Atalanta. Atalanta. Yeah. That's controversial.
Was it that guy on loan from Juventus?
But he's at Atalanta. No.
But is he on loan from Juventus to Atalanta, isn't he?
No, he's there. No. As in, he's the player, permanent player.
He's who's player? Atalanta permanent player.
He's
okay.
Permanent player. He's not on loan there. He's their player, permanent.
Yeah.
He's 27.
VJ. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. VJ here says the problem is the Ligt is on 280k a week. He's still young. I don't think it'd be wrong to give him 3-something. After all, we have something, how much we paid the person who's on 3-something, and we're not getting anything from him. Guys, it's over. Chelsea FC will not sign anyone substantial this summer. I can't believe Bobby himself have joined the Panic FC bandwagon. Okay, Bobby, I heard that. I don't think it's over. Again, a different day, same Chelsea fans are stuck in panic mode. Exactly. They just don't understand why. In Samsung 11, this is the reason why Manchester City and Liverpool are good more than Chelsea transfer signed again. Oh, no. TT to be sacked next season. Okay. Chelsea, like surprising us, a surprise FC. I wonder who the market signings. Let me add an S to it because we were promised to be, again, I'm going to come back to the panel. There's still quite a lot of comments to read.
Yeah, I'm in the drive-through right now. It's a very long line, but now I'm next. So I just want to say, first off, I do not want to overpay for Kounde, okay? If first of all, he's injured and he's not Premier League proven.
Man, it's not.
Oh, I know it's a minor injury. Okay, that's fine, but I'm not going to overpay for him. Whatever deal they had on the table last time is the price I'm going to offer the Sevilla. And if they don't want it, then they can go to Newcastle and get a better deal for Kounde. I'd rather have Delete, just like you said, or even have Rice play. And I know he's a midfielder, but he can play center back as well, or go elsewhere. I'm not going to want to overpay for Kounde. So it's almost my turn. So I'll be back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that input, brother. And here's something again. I'm going to just say hello to some people, and I will skip to the very bottom of the comments here. Then I'll try to catch up with everybody. Again, let me see here. The key objective is to sell Lukaku first, and then add the attacking options around the new forward. Although we should be doing the defensive recruitment. That's obviously the priority of the club for obvious reasons. We're losing around 4 players there, so the club should prioritize that. Realistically, who is your ideal striker for Chelsea and Tuchel, and at what cost? I'm not going to be able to say how much I'll be able to pay of any player that I think will be the ideal striker for Thomas Tuchel. Again, it's difficult to say, but the ideal striker would be somebody like Gabriel Jesus. He could play, fulfill that position for him perfectly. Another player would be Nkunku, who plays as a second forward, but I think he can fulfill that role. And he's young enough to still adapt, and I think he can press quite well. At this point, I wouldn't say Amanda Broya is. He needs some time with the manager to fully understand how he wants that role fulfilled. And then I think Amanda Broya can adapt, but he may well need some time. But it remains to be seen whether the manager keeps him we're on the panel. Sporting director for Chelsea. It's not serious. Again, we'll see. And this is my brother, the Almighty Blues FC, saying, hey, everyone, let's get to 100 likes. Yes, people, keep liking the video. Keep liking the video. We have 37 likes when we have 107 people watching. We can do better than that. And while you're out there, please go check out Almighty Blues FC, great content. And he started his series again, the quiz series, Who Am I in 5 minutes, which is focused on Chelsea history and the presence. If you think, check it out. I think so. Check it out. You will love it, and you will thank me later. And you want to be part of it. So thank you for finding time to join. The saying that the window just opened annoys me because we don't know the transfer market, how the transfer market works. High demand, less time to get quality players. If we wait more, the price will go up. I'm not going to panic. I'm still going to say that until it's around October, and then maybe I'll start panicking. Chelsea should have at least a Kounde announced by now. It's not that simple. You cannot announce a player who's still under contract at another club, and we haven't even completed. You can't just give them money because they asked for that. We've made an opening bid, and I'm sure we'll be looking, to improve that bid and go back with it. Back again in 700 million. We will get the leftover after Barca. Oh, I don't know. You've joined the panic bandwagon. I think you guys are going to lose this one because I'm confident Chelsea will have a very good window. I'm going to skip to the very bottom. And if I skipped your comment, apologies. I'm going to try to see. I feel something is cooking behind the scenes. Some negotiations are surely happening. Thank you, Just Viola. Now you're my friend, even though you like to shame me in public. I forgive you right now. I say it's the Ligt and Rice are too good to be true for this window. Hopefully January. That's why Koulibaly will be great stop gap. I think if Koulibaly comes to us, I think he's top gap because he's a fine player. We're all to the panel. I want to get Bobby's thoughts. I see he's joined the panic bandwagon. Let me see how he feels.
Hi guys. Hi, Coach. Sorry, I'm going to be in and out. I am working.
No problem.
Coach,
I understand.
We can't keep trying to shame people into not alerting as to what they feel is going on, because at the moment, everything we say is what we feel. I see that post from.
But can I say something quickly, Bobby? I hope what I said you joined in the bandwagon didn't come across as insulting to you.
No, I don't take it like that. This is football, We all talk. We have to be emotional. I know an insult when I hear one. So
thank you.
You're good. You're good. I mean, I see this post by Simon Phillips. Kounde has agreed 5 years. Yada yada yada. Look, the thing is, at the moment, even from what Boehly's saying, even from the current actions, it's not looking like we are looking to sign someone substantial. That was my word. My word was substantial. Now, Kounde would be a substantial buy. I don't know what the delay is. But by substantial, I mean players that address our playing staff problems. We've got players that need to re-sign longer contracts, the likes of James and Mount. We've even got a coach that needs a longer contract. We have substantial players to buy to make up for the players we've lost. It's too quiet for this sort of problem to look like it's being resolved. Now, I appreciate we came late to the party. Man City, Liverpool, they've not had sanctions. They've had their management in place, and they were able to do their deals long before maybe they started back in January and so on. I appreciate that. But though we've come late to the party, and though we're not just going to throw money at anybody anyhow, But
Mm-hmm.
when you have long-term substantiated targets like Jules Kounde, close the deal. That's my point. I know he's injured at the moment and I understand the caution, but just close the deal unless it's not true that the injury is not bad. Now, if the injury is a mild one, get it done, get it over with. It's not the first time we bought an injured player. We did that with Ross Barkley and were patient for him to get fit. Sometimes it's important to get these people through the door. Now, you might say, okay, this is how you accumulate dead wood. Well, it is a
Mm-hmm.
risk, but every transfer is a risk. I don't know what the club is up to. And what concerns me is I don't think the club knows what they're up to. They need perhaps a whole season to put their board and purchasing strategy in place.
Mm-hmm.
But football waits for no one. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we're ready for the new season. We're not ready at all. And there's no time to posture and get ready. And that's what the Americans don't understand. There's no time. Once the season starts, bang, you're onto it, and everybody's at your throat. And if we're not careful, we'll end up either struggling for the Conference League or into the full doldrums of mediocrity, maybe even a relegation dogfight. Because unless we get ourselves back onto the mantle that we belong, there's no middle ground for Chelsea. Either we're up the top or we're right down the bottom because we're a target. That's the point I'm making. And I'm trying to get our fan base to look at that realistically. If we're not moving and shaking now, we won't be moving and shaking at all this summer.
Here's the thing, Bobby. Do I understand your argument? I do quite well. But as you were speaking, something I picked from you is you said yourself, you're not sure, you don't know what the club are doing, but you're just concerned that they're not doing anything.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
again,
everything I say
go
is
ahead.
based on concern. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have some sort of magic fly on the
Mm-hmm.
wall that sees everything that's going on inside Chelsea. So it's all based on concern. It's based on an opinion, basically. I mean, that's all we can do. But if you look at the appearance of our performance this summer, it's
Mm-hmm.
very poor. It's very disorganized. It's very confused. It's not decisive. Yes, there are reasons for that. Yes, there may be legitimate reasons, but life waits for nobody. You can have all the legitimate reasons you want. It won't stop these other teams from slapping you up. That's the point I'm making. They won't feel sorry for you. Yeah, it's your problem. They will kick you to the curb. That's the point. So it's not looking good at all.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're losing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like we lost. Bobby, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. I am. There was a sort of glitch, but yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've said basically what my opinion is. There is no hiding from the fact that the proof of the pudding is in the eating. We talk about this player, that player, this player, that until we actually get the player, it's all nonsense. It's not good at all.
Yeah. Ty, any of you, any thoughts on what Bobby just said?
Honestly, I have to say that what he says is something that I can agree with because, I mean, even though people say that the club were doing, and even I was saying that the club were doing things behind the scenes, which is
Mm-hmm.
still possible. But the thing is, and he brought up the fact that with what Bodie was saying about what he was saying in his interview, it doesn't look as if we're going to be making substantial. That's the word he said he used. Substantial signings and
Yeah.
I
What
don't
did he say? What did he say specifically?
I think basically I don't want to really assume what he meant, but
Mm-hmm.
I think in a sense where we could make signings, but will those signings uh necessarily be enough to really push the team because you're losing quality, or you're losing players that added to quality, and you
Exactly.
have to find suitable replacements for them. And if you don't do that, then well, he used the example of, you could find yourself in a relegation situation, and
Exactly.
in terms of that. So I think in that regard, it is. And I mean, he's the one that brought up the saying of, people are not really panicking because of no reason. The reason is that there's not much quality players, and if you continuously see other teams getting in these players who possibly could suit what the club wants to do, one day you may just see the market and you're saying, oh, the only players that are left are players that the club don't want them at all, and they're just trying to find them a different club. So at the end of the day, for me, even though, I don't really think that, it's all over. I just think that the longer this goes on, the worse it could be, and the more likely we are to not get in players that could actually benefit the team, because we have players who can always come back, or we have youth players, or players who are on loan that had good loans, that we could say maybe could give them a chance. But I mean, you still need to balance it out. You just can't have young players and inexperienced players, and you don't have anybody to lead them. So I think that is also important. But I honestly don't know, because I don't really see movement to say that the club is doing something. And like I was saying, even if it's to make a 5 million um offer for a player who is 100 million, at least do something that to let fans know that you're not sleeping.
Exactly. I mean, if I could just say this, sorry to cut you short, Ty. By substantial signings, we've made signings this summer. We've got a goalkeeper, but signing an
We've got
18-year-old
100,
goalkeeper,
100 goalkeepers.
yeah, signing an 18-year-old goalkeeper is not a substantial signing. It does not address our real problems. And that's my concern. And that's what I don't think we're going to do. From all indications now, we are not going to make substantial signings. If we lose Kounde, we've lost a substantial signing. Losing Bissouma, as far as I'm concerned, is a loss of a substantial signing. I mean, Todd Boehly came out with all this crap about financial fair play, but Basuma was 25 million. So I really don't know what, that is a loss. That is a loss. And Basumas are not, they're not many of them. You lose these players to the rivals, and you find out that at the end of the day, all that's left for you is dead wood. Just like we did with the purchase of Kepa. We lost out to the real purchase of the what's the name of that, Liverpool, Allison, and this is it. We are, as Ty said, the longer this goes on, the more we're putting ourselves at the bottom of the barrel, and we will not make any substantial signings if we don't make signings now.
Like somebody did put it yesterday, but still, even at that, I think I'm still confident that we'll have a good window. It says, it's like going to the market, and people are picking out all the products. By the time you come, if you go late, you have leftovers. But I still believe there are good players who are not as popular as those, that we're looking at. And I still believe there's a chance the club are looking that will bring in players we didn't even think they're looking at, that are good enough to even do better for us. Again, yes, Chomeni is a good player. Chomeni is a good player. Darwin Nunes is a good player. I'm not sure if we even looked at him, but there are chances those guys don't really fit into what the manager wants to do. We must also consider those things. Bissouma, we heard from the start, what we heard before was that the club are considering Bissouma and Sangare if getting Rice is impossible. So you could argue at this point that getting Rice is possible, given that the price we're hearing has been, slashed down to 75 million. which makes it possible, then the club can get him. But that's, by the way, I get your argument, and I understand why you're all concerned. It shows, yeah, you truly do care about the club. But remember, I told you this, everything will be all right. Again, the same way I was confident before the Champions League final, telling some people after we lost to Leicester during the FA Cup final, some people say, "Oh, we're done. Man City are going to smoke us." And I said, "Listen, I think it was on I don't what's the name of the channel again. I said, listen, we're winning this. That the loss, the FA Cup final loss, was that is a lesson just in time for Tuchel to find a solution and fix the problem. He saw exactly what happened there. But that's, by the way, but I'm just telling you that I'm confident telling you right now, we're going to have a good window. But just remember, I told you that on Chelsea perspective. So I'm not panicking. But I want to read something here that's interesting from what I also saw yesterday. The Thomas Tuchel isn't all in on that is in the bid for Lukaku to leave the club. But I think the rumors are still swirling. If you want to say it's swirling, if you want to say that, I think he'd still leave. Because, like I said during the start of the show, the Lukaku case, Lukaku and Chelsea case is the opposite of marriage made in heaven. It's a marriage made in hellfire. And the only option will be for both parties to go their separate ways. Chelsea needs to marry again. Don't necessarily need to marry again because we don't necessarily need a number 9 given a traditional number 9 given the way it took place. But Lukaku needs a marriage. That's why the whole thing is difficult. He needs to play. It's a World Cup here, and Belgium will be part of the World Cup. But that's, by the way, here's this thing here. There are stories that Boehly is at odds with Tuchel's transfer plans. It seems the two number guys are not getting the same totals. Ty, let me know your thoughts. Do you believe this or do you think it's nonsense?
There are stories that Boehly's at odds with John. I honestly, I don't want to say that it's happening, but there's a great chance this could be the case. I don't think Tuchel is out there stamping his foot and screaming and shouting, but I think he's probably inquired about situations like for example what is the plan in terms of getting in at least three of the targets, and maybe he hasn't heard anything that really could encourage him that the club will be making any approach to these players. So I honestly don't know if the story is entirely true, because I all I'm hearing is that it's a case where, for example, he doesn't want Lukaku to leave permanently, and I honestly don't know, because I think the media will just try to add salt to the wound for fans that are already concerned about no movement in the window. So I honestly don't know if it's entirely true.
Yeah, I think I'd say the same thing. Again, it's a media. It's a media. They hear something and they just cook some bugger with it or whatever. Like, I think he's come out to say we've heard acceptable for being lied to. That he has the final say on who the club signs in terms of pointing that he wants player A, B, C because they want to back him. Now, what we heard is that he's reluctant. It's not all in on letting Lukaku leave for Inter Milan because he's our highest goal scorer. You could. I think people just, if you ask me in that aspect, people just make up nonsense. From if they read the situation, they know this story. If I say this, it will be believable given the circumstances surrounding the club, the player, and the club's current situation. If you ask me, so I think it's absolute nonsense. Bobby, your thoughts on that? Yeah,
Was that me?
Your thoughts, your thoughts on what we have on the screen, that you say like Boehly and Thomas Tuchel are odds on who to go for and who not to go for, and that he probably wants. But that's just me adding this from what I saw yesterday. He wants Romelu Lukaku to stay. He's not. No, let me just be safe here. He's not all in on Romelu Lukaku leaving for Inter Milan. given the fact that he's, he was our highest goal scorer this past season.
Chelsea Football Club is a hotbed for malicious gossip. And this will continue to happen so far as the Boehly Group do not set up a structure. We need to be agitating now as a fan base for a structure, because right now what we have is chaos, absolute chaos. Is Marina there? Is she not there? She's negotiating. She's not negotiating. Tuchel's negotiating. He's not negotiating. The fact that Tuchel is now on holiday, I don't know whether that's a sign of concern or whether that's a sign of, he's given his list and they're working on it. Nobody knows. Now, I understand that Chelsea, do things in confidence. They're not out there spreading their news. But it's foolishness not making people understand that you have a structure. It even enhances your negotiating power if people understand that you have a structure. When, as much as Roman Abramovich ran the club as a philanthropic hobby, he had a structure. People understood that if you were over 30, you wouldn't sign for Chelsea for more than a year. There were things that were unique to the club. Right now, we're just, we're chaotic. We're totally chaotic, and it's showing in our lack of transfer dealings. So is this true? Maybe. They probably picked it up a bit from the fact that Todd Boehly is looking to commercialize the club. He wants the players to be a commercial asset to the club. And maybe he's thinking, Romelu Lukaku, he's high profile. Maybe we can use him as a commercial asset. But I don't take it too seriously, because in football, you cannot be a commercial asset unless you are commercially successful. Ronaldo and Messi could not be the assets they were to Real Madrid and Barcelona at the time if they were not the super successful, talented players that they were. So I don't see how he would not understand that. And I think it's a little bit of what he wants mixed with a lot of malicious gossip, because Chelsea's clickbait for any bad news. And we've got this sort of rubbish story. It can't all be rosy, but it's not as bad as they're saying. He may have looked to see if Lukaku has a commercial value, but from what you've said at the top end of the show, the deal with Inter is in progress. Or was it another show I heard that? So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying that one.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. Like I said, it's a media, making a meal, of the whole situation. Just around the topic on Jules Kounde, then we'll move to talking about Romelu Lukaku. Let me try and catch up with the chat already here. Mo says, I think Boehly wants American manager. If it's not backing Tuchel off, that's the case. This could be Tuchel's last season, or he's not back for the second time. I don't think that's the case. Again, you could say, that I think we don't have a proper structure right now. You could argue that maybe they're trying to restructure things, but I'm still going to tell you this. I think we're fine. Right now, we have 56 likes, where we have 82 people watching. We can do better than that. Please keep liking the video. We've gained a few subscribers, and we're getting close to 3,000 subscribers. And I'll tell you this, if we get to 3,000 subscribers today, we'll do a giveaway. Let's see what happens. Again, Mo, you're boring me. Nothing to do with Marina. Preseason is not just, it's check your facts. Okay, says Boehly out. Yeah, I'm hearing that too. The goalkeeper signed for future. You can argue that's the truth, but people are really concerned because that's not what they want to see now. Truly, you will be bored in the Conference League. Again, I'm not going to go into that fight. Dembele will start at Barcelona. We will talk about that too. Be patient while Barca are going to still our targets. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to keep going here. See if there's anything. There has to be a point where we panic when our rivals are strengthening, I want Tuchel to fulfill his promise that he wanted to build a team no one wants to play against. For Marina has messed up. Again, we have to just stop blaming Marina. She's just a negotiator. And at this point, nothing has happened that you can say is her fault. Says, what promise we can't even sign players? Says, check the HQ tweets. Todd Boehly has warned Chelsea fans that they will not be throwing huge sums around to sign players this summer as financial fair play continues to threaten their business. To a certain measure, he's saying the truth. Again, here's the thing. I think we're overthinking the whole situation. We're doing some business behind the scenes. I'm going to repeat myself again, but I'm not going to dwell in that. Just to wrap up, wrap up or debunk the Jules Kounde to Barcelona theory. Here's this. Simon Phillips here says Jules Kounde has already agreed a 5-year deal with Chelsea, which includes a salary that will be 2 or 3 times more than 2 or 3 times. Pay attention to this. Yes, Barcelona has some money, but they're not going to do something that will mean they'll blow the money in a few months and then, start having issues again. It's as simple as that. So we must, start thinking, stop overthinking things. Here's the area I want to highlight here. Says Jules Kounde, although this is yesterday, probably before where Barcelona got the financial injection they got, Jules Kounde had already agreed a 5-year deal with Chelsea, which includes a salary that would be 2 or 3 times more than what Barcelona can currently offer. Plus, they're asking already their players to take a wage cut. They knew they were going to get some financial injection even before asking their players to do so, because they still have a lot to deal with. They're going to run the club. They have to pay players weekly wages. And it's not that simple. So you should start being concerned that Barcelona is going to snatch them away from us, except if he wants to go take a pay cut and join Barcelona, which doesn't really make sense. So let's think about that. Sevilla wait for Chelsea to match their price of 60 million to 65 million, which euros, which is 52 million to 56 million pounds. And I think Chelsea would do that. It's not too much. And I don't think Sevilla would just go, okay, now we've decided to sell to Barcelona. It doesn't happen like that. Believe me, I think we're okay in terms of the if we're talking about the Jules Kounde case. So we're going to move on to talking about the next player, which is Romelu Lukaku in a bit, but I want to catch up with the chat. I think, Boehly, again, I think I've read that before. I think I just have to go down. I missed quite a few things here. And if you're being too negative in the chat, I'm going to really start skipping your comments because it's just going to be a repetition of something you already said, then I'll skip it. That doesn't mean if you're being negative, I'm not going to read, but if it sounds like something you've already said before, I'm going to skip it. There has to be a point where, again, I think I've read this too, here, okay, Todd Boehly has won. Again, this is not new. He's always said that he's going to spend, but he's going to spend wisely, strategically. He's not just going to start throwing money at problems. And again, there's something I think we've refused to learn as Chelsea fans. Under Roman, it was difficult for that to happen. Under Roman, it was difficult for us to realize that the club is a business, first and foremost. But we had an owner who was just happy to see the club to do well, and he didn't prioritize profit. All he wanted to do is to make the club one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and you could argue he succeeded in doing that. But we didn't realize at the time that there will come a time where we may get an owner who will be profit-focused and will not be willing to throw money at problems. And I'm going to say this quickly. I think Bobby was on the show, one of the live streams one of my very first live streams, where I argued, I think it was when we were talking about going for Erling Haaland. And my argument was that there were cheaper options and we should be careful how much we spend on players, that this is not going to happen before. That's the chance Roman Abramovich's sons takes over. and he's going to be profit focused, and we'll be in serious trouble. There's a chance we get a new owner who's going to be profit focused, and we're going to be in serious trouble. And I think Bobby's response to that, what I said then, was that when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. But right now, we need to spend and buy, not spend recklessly. We need to buy, pay money, and get connection issues. I'm not sure people can still hear me. Can you guys still hear me, Bobby?
You've been breaking up, but I've been getting bits.
Yes, you remember the show that where I argued we should be careful how we're calling for the club to spend money. There's a chance we may. It's not even up to a year ago. You remember that show where we may well get somebody who's profit focused, and everything changes. And the new reality is everything has changed. We have an owner who will not always, just pay the money to get in place that the fans are calling for, or the big name players for the sake of it. Go ahead,
Coach. Nothing has really changed. You see, what people they understand it, but they always negate. Football is high finance. Profit making in football is in and around the high finance you inject. So you can't get something for nothing in football. Success is the objective, and it costs a lot of money. And what I think Boehly has understood is the commercial value of the club. I don't think he's under any illusions that he's not going to have to spend money. They know that. And that's why he's talking about all this FFP and so on. They know football is massive finance. Sadly, I don't think he quite understands the corruption that's in football yet. He still thinks it's a level playing field. The owners of some of these clubs have completely infiltrated the governing bodies, and they sidestep their rules, their FFP rules. I think he's going to understand it soon. I don't think he's quite got that yet. But let's have it right. This is big money. You don't just come into a super football club, start talking economics. That's why he's not talking economics. He's talking commercial assets, commercial increments. That's the way forward. That's how people like Madrid try and aim for. They try to aim for their commercial viability. So, all these Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, we're not going to spend big money." Well, you don't spend big money, you lose everything. You have to spend big money.
Here's my argument clearly, Bobby. I'm not saying they're not going to spend big money, but they're not just going to just go straight. I think we've learned. He's said it before, and we've learned that he's a numbers person. Thomas Tuchel also is.
Okay.
I think the only difference will be they're never going to be in a rush to pay money for anybody. They're never going to what changes here is, I think, in most cases, his choices, the manager himself is a numbers person. We've learned that. I think we may end up, we're thinking that the club are going to go for player A, they'll end up going for player C, given what the numbers tell them. And in most cases, the players that are most, popular and the ones with the better numbers in most cases. Let me just say, in some cases to be safe. So that's a chance they'd be looking at players we're not even thinking they'd be looking at, because we're looking at a Kunku because he emerged as a Bundesliga player of the season and all those numbers because he's in the limelight, if you want to phrase it that way. And we're looking at some of the players which they say we're looking at Darwin Núñez, and that's because, probably Chelsea fans started the rumors because he's done well of late, something like that. There are players who you could argue that have done better, but are not, as popular as those guys. So that may well be the kind of signings we'll be seeing. It remains to be seen who they're considering as marquees, who they consider as players that consider as marquee signings, because they promised us 2 marquee signings, and that is if in fact that's the truth. Yeah.
Coach, I appreciate what you're saying, but, fine. So where are these figures or the products of these figures that they're looking at? You and I both know this is top-level football. Snooze, you lose. So all this snoozing that's going on here at Chelsea is making us do a whole load of losing in the transfer market. So, I don't know. We're still waiting to see, all this strategic talk. The time has passed for that. They've got to put their money where their mouth is. That is the beauty of Roman. Roman was one person that will put his money where his mouth is. And, he went for success to the complete detriment of profit. He wasn't interested in profit. Now, these people say they're interested in profit. Yeah, fine. Absolutely fine. But you can't ignore success. So all this talk of, we look at the data, we're looking at this and that. Yeah, fine. Okay, great. What is the product of this strategy? Because at the moment, we're seeing nothing.
Yeah, I'll come back to you in the panel a bit, Ty. If you're in the chat, please. I think we'll move on from the. We'll start talking about. I think we may well start with Dembele, then we'll go to Lukaku. If you're in the chat, please. We have just around. We're around 64 likes, and I know we can actually do better than that. So if you haven't liked the video, please keep liking it. The likes are very important. Like I've always said, you don't even have to donate to the channel. The like does more to the channel, for the channel, than the donations. Just keep liking the video to help us reach more people, because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more people will be able to reach. But more importantly, the more people we have participating in the show, the more fun it will be and the more opinions we get, because what we do here on Chelsea Perspective is give everybody the opportunity to speak their mind, so at the end of the day, we can come to a sensible conclusion. So please keep liking the video. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And if anybody asks you, to pay, tell them the Queen of the House, Just Viola, had already paid for you. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. We're already at 2,958 subscribers, which means we've gained already 12 subscribers already. So we're not far away. We need just 42 more subscribers to get to 3,000 subscribers. So that's, by the way, I'm going to get back to it now. Just Viola, the Queen of the House, says, I don't think Todd Boehly warned the Chelsea fans. He has talked about FFP, but the wording is wrong. Yep, that's a chance. Yeah, that's the case. And again, when you speak like that, you leave room for people to put words in your mouth. If you want to see it that we're all misinterpret what you meant to say. But that's, by the way, says, and we're going to get to that in a bit, Kim. So he's really being negative, and he doesn't stop. I don't know why. If Dembele wants 400 to 500K a week, he can stay there. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If he wants up to 400 a week, he can stay there, because it's going to cause us more problems in the long run than we're already facing, because as our wage structure is really everywhere at this point, that I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to negotiate new contract with Reece James and Mason Mount, of which I'm hearing that Chelsea the club has opened talks with him with regards to give him an upgraded contract, if you want to phrase it that way. Big up Kachila, Bobby, Ty, and everyone on the panel. Big up everyone in the comments. Nice to see you here, Mike Brother, DJ Sav. I hope you're doing well, and I hope things are well on your end. Nice to always see you here. Thank you very much. Kachila, your audio is not good. Is it whistling? What is it doing? Is it whistling or something? Or is it low? Can you guys let me know what's going on, Ty? Is something wrong with my audio?
You were breaking up at one time.
Oh, well, I was.
It seems to be smooth now.
Okay, that was. I think the internet is acting up. That may well be the case. Sorry, apologies about that. Says the sounds going in and out. Yep, I think I noticed it because the screen also did freeze at that point. So thank you. Morty Grissom says, yes, guys, it feels annoying but training will not start until July 2nd. I believe by then Chelsea will sign at least two very good CBs. Do not stress. We will have Michi. Bro, yeah. Oh my gosh. He started very well. I was going to say this was delicious comment until he added Michi to it. But thank you for that comment, Marty. I sincerely do appreciate that. Again, Romelu Lukaku returns to Inter Milan is imminent. That's the truth. But we will talk about that later. The player has done and continues to do everything possible to come back. You sound like you're an Inter Milan fan. Come back means like it sounds like you're at Milan. Or do you mean go back? Let us know. Kounde to Barca confirmed. Okay, thank you very much. Here's another. And I'm going to keep skipping your comment because it looks like you're a Barca fan. Broya Cowell, Ampado Gallagher, Gilmore Starlin, Matson, how'd you say? Is it Ian Matson? Is that his first name? Baxter, Angerin, Vale, Hall, Webster, etc. I will survive if some of these fill those spaces. We have to mix them up. We have to give the youth a chance, but that doesn't mean we should, have a defensive line that's just all youth. It will be a risk. We need a balance. And my brother, Hams Master, joins the chat. Nice to see you here, brother. What I like the most about Hams the Master, when you go to his Twitter account, what you see in his description, I think, oh, wow, it's Hams. I do love that. Likes the stream. I hope this window goes well. I am trying to send a super chat. I don't know why it isn't working. I think it may be from your end. I don't think there's any issue with that. If there is, I know myself. I think everything is fine. Look at it. Yeah, I think it's very possible. It depends if you're trying on the desktop or a phone. Sometimes that can be tricky, but that's fine. Even if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with you being inside contributing. Says who again says Nkunku 100 million is just too much. I'm hearing we're getting serious about signing Nkunku. Nkunku for me would count as a marquee signing. Brentford with average team beat Chelsea 4-1 because their coach believed in his players. Tuchel must believe in who he has and what he has. And what he has is still very high quality. Just do your job. And now I think somebody in the chat is going to really like you for this comment. Marty says Juventus could reportedly offer Demiral to Chelsea this summer in a straight swap for Jorginho. Are you talking about a guy who's out on loan? If that's the case, I would say no. Except if you're going to be with the guy plus cash, or maybe we'll be talking about a swap deal that involves the Ligt, then I take it. But I'm not, for them giving us a guy, who you can argue it's a second fiddle player because he's actually out on loan. Except if Thomas Tuchel feels like he's going to make him a world class, and I take him. And Chelsea are interested in Denzel Dumfries. Yeah, we've read that before. I say, anyone who thinks Todd will win us Premier League this year is wrong. It took him 5 years with the Dodgers. Okay, thank you. It gets better with what Phantom just told us. Your audio is fine now. Okay, thank you very much. Felix, nice to see you, brother. I hope things are well at your end. Nice to see you. Okay, I have to send you the link first. Since why are we forgetting we lost Rudiger? We haven't, but we just have to move on. We can't keep talking about Rudiger. That's why we're saying the areas that that the club should be looking at to fortify should be the defensive area. We've all known that for a while. Concept Roman put his money where his mouth is in a misogynist since FFP owners being allowed to invest. Yep, new owners are allowed to invest a huge amount of money. Women's team only allowed 10 million. Okay, player debt management CFC. Okay, yep, we've always complied. Yep, I know that we haven't. We were close at one point, I think. I'm not sure. Can anyone tell me, have you actually seen any proof of that at Chelsea? No, that's why we say it's absolute nonsense. But the first thing we did at Chelsea, on Chelsea perspective, was to analyze it and say, okay, ask the question, how many players, how many good players can that amount get? And then we came to the conclusion that's not going to be enough. You understand? So last night I dreamt that we had signed Nkunku. Good dreams. I keep dreaming. I think hopefully that comes through. Chelsea wants to buy Lewandowski. I don't think we were serious about Lewandowski for obvious reasons. So you go ahead, Bobby. You tell me about. Let's start with what's his name? Let's start with Ousmane Dembele. Do you think there's a chance he remains at Barcelona? I would say no. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, it makes no sense wasting all this time to sign a contract that's been on the table for you. And I would imagine that would be quite a lucrative contract. So I would say it's unlikely he will sign with Barca, unless Barca now, with this new cash injection, throw some very silly money at him. Even then, I have my doubts. My concern is probably PSG, if they tempt him. But we will never know the truth about the Dembele situation until the end of this month, when his contract actually expires.
That's when everything becomes open.
Yeah. Once his contract is done with Barca, there's no reason for him not to have a club. In fact, he needs to have a club, so then we'll know where he's going.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Ty, your thoughts? Do you think he stays at Barca?
Yes.
You think he's going to stay at Barca? Tell us why.
Sorry?
Do you think Dembele he will stay at Barca?
No.
Okay, tell us why you think so.
Because he's made it clear that he doesn't want to stay there. They've made improved offers to him in terms of contract, and he hasn't accepted it. I don't unless he's gonna follow his fellow countryman and make a U-turn. I honestly don't think he's going to stay. I think he's probably going to go to PSG or something like that.
Yeah, here's why I think that's one thing is certain. He is not going to stay at Barca, but where he goes is the one thing that's the one you cannot be certain about. Why do I think he's not going to remain at Barca? I think the relationship has soured. He's gone down south, if you want to phrase it that way. Now he's already made up his mind to leave, and Barca accommodating him in terms of wage wise, given that he's refused contract offers from them. And I don't think he'd agree to take a pay cut, given what we heard Barca asking players to do. Plus, now things hasn't really been that smooth for him at Barca. Plus, Barca did not deal when he had a problem. The racial, the racism role. Barca didn't handle it well. They made the most out of it, trying to use the opportunity to get him and Antoine Griezmann out of the club. I don't think he'd forgive them that. That's probably why he's bent on leaving. Because usually, like you hardly see players at the Barca leaving because of salary issues. In most cases, they keep him. And he's good enough to make a difference for them. And they're starting to see it. Now that he's played with Aubameyang. They're starting to see flashes of what he's capable of doing. But I think he's made up his mind to leave. I think he will not stay there. And just quickly, here's an update from Simon Phillips, which says Chelsea have already agreed a financial agreement in place with Jules Kounde in terms of contracts. And then he continues, this is where I'm paying attention because our concern is that Barca will snatch him up. And here he says they've got a fee agreed, but they are in dialogue with Sevilla. He is really up for joining Chelsea. Anybody on the panel want to talk about that? Because I think this whole thing takes time to agree. It's never going to be straightforward.
It means nothing.
It means nothing to you.
Yes, the only action is more than you can be in contact with them, but if you don't make the bid, it makes no sense. You can be talking to it's like saying that, all right, I don't want to use this analogy, but I'm going to use it. Let's say that you're in a dating competition and you're in contact with that person, and all you're doing is talking to them and talking to them and talking to them, while there's another person who's actually making that effort to go to them, spend time with them and things like that, trying to convince them,
Now,
to
Ty,
choose
can you
them.
tell me this? Tell me how sure are you that Barca, have made progress?
It's not about if they could not. It doesn't matter if they're making progress right now. The thing is, if we're not making a bid, they are readying their bid. What are we doing? We're trying to click our heels together and say,
We've made a
should we
bid
do
too.
this?
We've made a bid, Ty. We've made a
That
bid,
is,
but
you're
they're
not
asking
getting
for more.
you're not getting what I'm saying. The bid
All right,
that
go
they
ahead.
what I'm saying is that yes, we made a bid. It was 42 million euros. Yeah, that's a bid. Fine, we found out their price. The thing is, now that you know their price, it's between 60 million euros to 65 million euros. At least make an improved bid. We haven't done that, and that's been 3 weeks ago. That's the thing.
This is where I have a fallout with you, Coach, because
No, it's
you
not. It's
guys,
not a fallout, bro. I don't
well,
know
for
what you mean
want
by
of
a
a better
fallout.
word,
We
for want
disagree,
of
maybe. Disagree.
disagreement,
Yeah, because
for want of
listen,
a better word.
Bobby, I know you know me for that. We're
Yeah,
here. If we don't disagree to even to the minute measure, they're never gonna be a show. We just go home because we all believe in the same thing. We're here to learn something from each other.
it's all good, it's all good.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm just giving my 10 cents worth, and I make no secret in my desire to hold Marina accountable. Now, everybody likes to swerve her accountability. I understand why. I think it's more to do with biological nature than practical application. As men, we look at a woman, we get all sentimental. This is why people do not want that dynamic in serious things, because the dynamic holds back the purpose. Now, she is accountable. If she's there doing deals, and this is a big if, to be fair to her, and she must be, because there's no other reason why she's still at the club, this is what she does. She dilly-dallies. She wastes time. She's not decisive. Now, before we were saying, oh, it's Roman telling her, oh, you can't spend more than this, you can't spend more than that. Okay, fine. So this time, okay, maybe it's Clear Lake Capital saying you can't spend more than this, you can't spend more than that. Okay, fine. Are you always going to be operating under this cloud? Let's keep it real. I don't think she's that heavily restricted. You say she's a negotiator. Negotiate, do the deal, done. Get out of there. Pick your player and be gone.
But
Don't be
Bobby, do
waiting
you
for
agree it's
someone
not
else
that
to come and
simple? The
take your player.
negotiation is not that simple. You know that,
It is
right?
that simple. It's that simple for Man City. It's been that simple for Spurs. It's that simple for Liverpool. Why is it always this complicated thing when it comes to Chelsea? Because we have somebody who is not decisive. That's the truth. Take away your emotion, take away who she is, and think about it. Just forget it's her. Just put it as an invisible person and think about the application of our deals. Whoever is responsible for that is indecisive. That's my point. And that is a big problem as far as I'm concerned. I think she is accountable.
Okay, just quickly, guys, if you're in the chat, what's his name? Ham's Master, my brother, he has a YouTube channel. If you haven't, you have to go check him out. I think he has a mix of reaction videos, but he focuses, in most cases, he talks about Chelsea, and I think he knows his stuff. I think if you check out his video, I think you'd like him. And please be sure to subscribe to his channel. Now, DJ, I'm going to come to you straight up. Let me know, do you agree with everything Bobby just said right now?
Yes, I do. I agree to disagree. I mean, I agree with the majority of what Bobby is saying, but I also can understand some of the stuff from the other side of it all regarding these deals. Look, I've not been watching the whole show, to be honest. I've just jumped on hearing bits and bobs of it. I'm assuming it's regarding the Kounde and Dembele transfers again. It seems to be the same old story with Chelsea every day since we've been linked with these two guys. Each day goes by, nothing seems to be happening. It seems, but yeah, look, the situation on it is right, because what Bobby is saying I can understand, because this whole deal with Kounde should have been done and dusted ages ago. The minute this takeover was done, all right, and the transfer window was opened, Chelsea should have been in there and got this deal done with Kounde. We were told, I think, a lot of the times that Chelsea are in negotiations with him. He's 100% wants to come to Chelsea. He's committed to coming to Chelsea. Now all of a sudden, Barcelona have had this lot of money that have come in. They've now gone and shown some kind of interest in him, and all of a sudden the waves have turned back to saying that he may end up going to Barcelona now. Now, if he ends up going to Barcelona over Chelsea, this will look really bad on our football club, because this deal, as we've all been told, should have been wrapped up ages ago when the takeover was done, and nothing seems to be done. And the fact that Todd Boehly apparently has allegedly come out with comments, I've not seen it all on Twitter. I've not had a chance to go on Twitter today, but I've heard some people have been emailing me and messaging me saying, have you seen Todd Boehly's latest comments? I said, what are they? Apparently he's saying about Chelsea are only going to have about 135 million to spend. Apparently he's going with the FFP rules. So already, whatever he's committed to the cause of the club, to what he promised the Chelsea fans when he took over from us, from Roman, he's kind of like going back a little bit on his word now. I'm not saying that's 100% certain, but if he is, it's not going to look good on him. And the other thing that's also getting a lot of the fans disappointed now is it seems like he's backing Lukaku to stay at Chelsea over Tuchel. Now, Tuchel doesn't want Lukaku at the football club. We all know this. But it seems like he wants to...
But how can you confirm...
No. I'm only going... Listen. I'm not saying that 100% certain.
I saw that comment too. I saw the comment too. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
There have been comments. There have been, and it's not just been one person that's been saying it. A few have been saying it now that he's actually going back on letting Lukaku go. Now, you're also hearing some other news that came out last night that apparently the deal to get Lukaku to Inter Milan, I think they've offered now 10 to 12 million euros with this loan offer to see if they can seal this deal. But for some reason or another, nothing's been done again this morning. I've heard nothing again this morning. So I really don't know if it's Todd Boehly playing hardball and saying he's not going anywhere. Now, if he's doing that, allegedly he's doing that, then he's literally going over Thomas Tuchel's head, because he's given Thomas Tuchel the keys to the kingdom, if you like, in terms of, you can go and sign the players that you want. But yet he's counteracting him with saying, look, Lukaku's not part of my plans. I want Lukaku gone, okay? But he's not letting Lukaku go. So you've got to ask yourself what is actually going on.
Let's debunk that.
Yeah.
Let's debunk that now. Here's where we're going to start debunking that, the comment that what I read was that it's not that he said he wants him to stay, that he's not all in a move to let him go because he's our current highest goal scorer in this. He finished as our highest goal scorer this past season. But that's, by the way, Thomas Tuchel has also said he doesn't have a problem if Lukaku stays. That's another one that debunks the nonsense that he doesn't want Romelu Lukaku. But the truth, again, you have to say this. Will it come out publicly and say he doesn't want him? No, because it's a huge risk. Now, Boehly, those things we're hearing, I think people are just making that nonsense up. But it's difficult not to believe it. You got my argument now. So there's a chance it's absolute nonsense too. We're also seeing that all that is left is Lukaku to complete the medical. So those three factors, just says that the fact that there are, or maybe he may have some reservations in terms of, that happening, but he can't force him on Thomas Tuchel. I think he's smart enough to understand that would be a huge risk.
Yeah.
Because Lukaku will feel like he's indispensable if that ever happens. But
because if that was to happen, Coach, then we're no better than what we used to be like under Roman, are we? We're giving players power over the manager. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, if that was the case, yeah. I'm just putting it out there. If it was, because you're more or less saying to the player, okay, you do what you want to do. You got the say here, and then the manager doesn't get the final say. Now we want to come away from this kind of ruthlessness, what we used to be like back in the day. Now, if this new era of Todd Boehly is now saying like it'll be a different way of doing things, we're not going to willy-nilly get rid of managers like you used to be and all this and that, then clearly you go to your manager who's for me one of the best managers in the round that you can have at the football club at this moment in time, is one of the best managers you've got, then you don't go over the manager's head. I'm not saying Todd Boehly will come out publicly and whatever. I get what you're saying on your comments as well. He won't say it publicly. It'll be, he has to make it out to be that, Lukaku's one of us. Da, 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 da. I get all that.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I'm also saying now is, we don't know. Obviously, the discussions, what we understand is that he's given, as I said, Thomas Tuchel the keys to the kingdom in terms of what players he wants to sign. Now, surely Thomas Tuchel has gone to him, and said, "I want this player, this player, this player." I know negotiations can take time. I'm not debating that. At all. They can take some time to be done. However, it seems like they want to get rid of players first before making any signings. Now, if Lukaku is one of those ones, because he's one of the ones who's on high wages, and they're waiting for him to go first before starting their business. What's happening in the meantime, though, is Barcelona are now looking at our targets that we want, i.e. Kounde. And, I'm not saying he's going to end up at Barcelona, but if they've got this major cash that's come into them now, you can bet your bottom dollar bill Barcelona are going to be going for players left, right and centre. And if Kounde is one of them, and if he does have any likes towards going to Barcelona, and they've got the money on the table, so here's your money for him, I don't doubt for a second he'll end up going to Barcelona.
But I don't think, also you have to consider that I don't think they can pay him as much as we want to pay him. But that's, by the way, let me ask you this, AJ, and they have quite a lot of stuff to deal with. So that whole, if they put the whole money into buying new players, how they're going to maintain their wages? That's another thing. So I think they have to be careful too. And there's a risk in them trying to go behind the back because they know we're interested in Kounde, to go buy Kounde, then we'll hold on to Alonso and Cesar. Yes, we end up losing them on a free come next season, but there's a chance we get them to extend if they play well enough games to continue staying at the club. But that's, by the way, here's one thing I want you to address clearly. Do you think, as Bobby mentioned, and Bobby, correct me if I'm misquoting you, do you think really that the delays all comes down to Marina?
Well, I maybe because we look, I'm not saying it's fully. Listen, I'm not saying it's fully Marina here, because I'm not. I get what Bobby was saying earlier on about
I understand his frustration. Yeah, go ahead.
I can understand where he's coming from because we've seen this we've seen this happen before. We saw it with Kounde last season, and people will turn around and say, Thomas Tuchel didn't want him at the time, but clearly he did want him because the whole idea of getting rid of Kurt Zouma was to bring Kounde in. And in the end, we ended up losing a defender that we could have had for the season. Bear in mind how our season ended and how we were having injuries. We could have done with this guy in our defence. All right. But the whole reason of letting him go and the reason of letting Thomas Tuchel know was, yes, we're going to let Kurt Zouma go, but we'll get you a replacement. We're going to get you Kounde. Yeah. Well, that never happened, did it? And then Kounde ended up staying at Sevilla. Right. So, I can understand where Bobby's coming from in terms of that. And he's right about that because he is accountable for that, to be fair. And some of that. Roman, the people say Roman
to say something.
Oh, go on, Ty.
Yeah, let DJ finish.
Yeah, when he's done.
No, Ty's going to do something. Go on, Ty. I'll let you finish. Go on, bro. Come in.
Okay, the thing is, what you just said is true and also false. Okay. Because with him, what happened is that we had the opportunity to make a bid for Kounde last summer earlier than we did. The reason why they moved the goalpost is because we took too long. They said there was a deadline. We didn't listen. We didn't follow that deadline, and what the reason was because we were so focused on getting Haaland or focused on getting Hakimi that a player that who was open to join, and we're doing the same thing again. We're putting the priority, and the priority should be he should be one of the targets you look at for, especially for the right side, because you're losing Aspi. You have players like that you need to bring in. The thing is, yes, you can't blame Marina for that part because they moved the goalposts and the director said that they wanted to gain more money for him, but it was down to us not making the bid during the deadline that they had given us. So as a result, we ended up suffering because of that. But
Can I
And
ask
just
you a
quickly,
question?
blue morning and good morning to my brother Deals CFC. Nice to see you around, brother. And thank you for the compliments and always supporting the channel. I sincerely do appreciate that. Go ahead, DJ.
I was just going to ask Ty. No, I get where he's coming from, but then the question I think my question was last season was then if we all knew about this whole Kounde situation, right? Should we have let Kurt Zouma go then? Because in my situation, or if you saw what happened to us if you happen to see obviously you saw what happened to us this season, we were injured. There were times obviously when Rudiger had to start most games. Silva was starting more than what he should have, and that's only because we didn't have any good replacements to come in there. It seemed because obviously Thomas Tuchel did have trust, but he didn't trust Christensen, and maybe if you like, he didn't trust Daloba as much as he'd like to have. And I think he did actually come out and say that in one of his interviews. It's not that I don't want to give Chalobah games. It's just that at a time it's a bit difficult for him, and that's the reason why he's done it. So that's the only reason why why I'm saying the club is accountable, because we couldn't, we end up even did the same thing with Kai Tomori. We let this guy go. Okay, and everyone thought, okay, we got what's his name? We've got the French defender, Malan Sarr. He was going to come in, because don't forget he was supposed to leave it last season as well before the transfer window shut. But in the end, that deal fell through, as we all know, and he ended up staying at Chelsea, right? So again, I'm just looking at the situation, thinking, when Kounde was mentioned of coming in, he was supposed to originally come in with Kurt Zouma. Was allowed to leave. That was the whole reason why Kurt Zouma was allowed to leave for West Ham. I mean, that's my only take on it, mate. I get where you're coming from as well, Ty, but I think that's what my situation on it is that if you're going to get rid of someone like Kurt Zouma, then you need to bring a replacement in case we struggled, which we did last season.
And here's the thing: we have to be honest. We did not expect Sevilla to move the goalposts. We didn't expect that. That shocked us, and I think they did it to take advantage of the situation, because you could argue that they see us, probably believe we'd pay it because we had already sold Kurt to West Ham United, and I think that was a mistake. We could have waited to say, okay, if Kounde's deal works, then we can sell Kurt. Then they saw we had already sold Kurt, and they moved to the goalposts. But again, he ended up being a blessing in disguise, because had we signed Kounde, there's no telling whether Chalobah will get a chance. But then again, I'm going to catch up with the chat. DJ, sorry, you still saying something?
No, bro, I'm good. You carry on.
All right, thank you. Let me catch up.
I was trying to finish what I was saying.
All right, go ahead, finish, and I'll go to the channel. Go ahead, Ty.
I don't even remember what I was going to say. Crap.
It was about maybe about the Kounde thing.
No, I don't know what I was going to say. You mentioned something as well, DJ, about Tuchel getting some level of role in terms of the players that were brought in. Do you truly believe that they have given him the freedom to do that, as reports say?
I think not. I think he's got some kind of say in the players that he wants, just for this season, maybe. But obviously, we did in the director of football. But at the same time, I'm also looking at the situation where he's actually asking for plays and he's not getting them. So I guess you could turn around and say, maybe not full on, not maybe the full 100%, as we've been told. I've been told, and I think you may, as we've been literally told that he's going to get. But clearly, it's not the case.
There's actually to come in, DJ, quickly, but finish, brother. Let me finish, and I'll add something to it.
No, that's it, bro. That's it.
Here's the thing. There's a chance we're actually being lied to. Why do I say that? I said that because what we heard amounts to a change in role, right? Isn't that what it was? If that was the case, then we should get an official statement from the club saying Thomas Tuchel is now. His role is now the manager, or this role. Usually when it's that serious, because it is serious. If in fact that's the truth, then we should get an official statement from the club. Bobby, your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Sorry, so you're saying we need an official statement on what?
We heard that Thomas Tuchel, that his role has changed from what to what again? From the first team coach to the manager, right?
Okay.
And that is changing role. In an organization, usually you get an official statement. And if you go to the website, you see it there. that is now this. Is there anything like that? And shouldn't we get an official statement from the club saying his role has not changed from this to this? Because this is something serious.
Well, if there's nothing on the website saying his role has changed, then his role hasn't changed.
It's as simple as that.
You know, we spend too much time making judgments by journalists. You know, that's why we fall for all this transfer talk. A lot of it is just journalists' wishful thinking. It's got nothing to do with the club. Tuchel's role is Tuchel's role. If he's changed to add certain things to his role, the club will probably just post it. But they don't see any need for it because his role is the same. I don't see. To me, that's just common sense.
Yeah. DJ, you want to say anything to that about that?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, bro. I was just on the what do you call it? So what was that you said? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying the fact that we didn't see any official statement from the club.
Yeah.
Regarding the presumed this case or rumored change of role, then it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, true, 100%. A statement should have come out saying that Tuchel's role is now moved from head coach to manager, which nothing was officially put on the site. So yeah, it's like Bobby says, it's common sense. It should have just been put on there saying, it's changed, but it hasn't. He's still head coach.
Yep. Ty, have your mind changed now? The rumors that he's going to have the final say on who was signed or who was signed or not.
I didn't believe it because that was stupid. No one's gonna. I don't think anybody's that stupid. And Todd Boehly is a businessman. He's not just gonna give somebody 200 million and say, go out there and do what you want with this money and then bring in these players that you want. Nobody's doing that. Nobody who's dyslexic is gonna even do that. So I didn't believe it. I'm just saying, I was just asking because people seem to have this misinterpretation that he's going to be getting the right to do all these things and go out there and say, oh, you know what, Kounde, 60 million, boom, 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 and just give everybody else money wants. That's not realistic. And it's unfortunate that there's, people that are being miseducated around the way things work at the club. And, True Blue is speaking about it right now. We're not, and I think people are not remembering this. Roman Abramovich was a sole owner. He the only person he needed to answer to was himself. Right now, with this consortium, this partnership, it needs to be where each person, and I even said this on one of your streams, we need to understand that it's not going to be a case where Todd Boehly is going to make a decision only. The decision making process is going to be slower. This is why I'm not Boehly out like I'm seeing people do, because you have to use common sense. You can't just be impatient in that regard and say Boehly out when you have to think about the fact that it's a partnership, and in a partnership, the decision making has to be slower than it would be when it's one person, because each person has to agree on this specific objective or what needs to be done.
In most cases, there has to be a vote.
Yeah, so that is why with people saying this nonsense, I have to say that you have to be careful, because it's a partnership. It's not a sold ownership. So it has to be a case where each person agrees that let us give this right, or let us do this, or let us invest this, or let us do that. That is what people need to be careful of. You can't be saying Boehly out just because the man is not quote unquote doing anything when he has to speak to each person that makes up his consortium. It's nonsense.
Yeah, I think you make a good sense. I think I'm glad we talked about it to just educate our followers here that, again, if indeed his role has changed from the head coach, first team coach, to the manager, it should be. There should be an official statement, or if you go to the website, it will change. And if you check now, if that's the case, let us know. And we'll now agree. So it just doesn't make sense. We must have been lied to, or maybe there's a verbal agreement. Just show us you want, and we'll try to get them for you. Deals CFC says no negative vibes, but I just find Todd Boehly moving on known at the moment. But we got to stay positive. That is just the way to approach life. You have to just stay positive because the more you worry, it's not worrying, it's not good for your health. It's as simple as that. It says, Hans Master says we should get Kounde done if we're that ruthless. I'd argue being ruthless isn't just giving Sevilla what they want. No, that doesn't make us ruthless. We should negotiate. That's the normal thing you do when you're trying to buy players. And again, I'm going to repeat myself again. It's something repeat something I'd already said. I'm coming. I'll let you come in. I know you're going to counter me with that, Bobby. I'm going to say this. We're not just going to give Sevilla what they're asking because it will spell desperation on our face. And we still need about 3 more defenders. What do you think other clubs are going to do? But come in, Bobby, if you have something to say.
Coach, this is where we go again with this undertone of gaslighting for Marina. She's still doing the negotiations, right? These people
I'm not sure. There's no way to tell. I don't know.
Well, she must be doing it because that's why she's still at the club. If not, she would have left the club. Now, the only other thing to that is unless there's some kind of handover going on, which we don't know about, which is ridiculous. We should be getting vibes of that already. So these people have come in, these people being severe, with an asking price that's £10 million less than what they asked for in the first instance last summer. And we've dropped £10 million even less than that. Does that even make any sense? Come on, bro. There comes a time where negotiation turns to foolishness. Do you want this guy or not? That's the simple thing, because I don't see them changing. You can gauge the market when you go in to do a deal. I can't see them changing. Yes, it's possible that they could be bluffing with Barcelona, but I very much doubt it. He's cheap. 55 million for a defender of his quality is cheap. And if Barca are sorting out their finances, he's just the sort of purchase they can make. It's like they're missing out on Basuma for 25 million. We're talking about, we've only got 130 million now. Okay. So why does that stop you from playing 25 million in a substantive position that you need? This is the point I'm making. You can't keep burying your head in the sand. You've got to deal. Spending money may not always be convenient, but it is profitable in the long run if you're looking for success. And that's the point I'm making. You know, I honestly do not see any negotiation with Kounde. Either you take him or leave him. That's where I see it. And I just think the only stumbling block might be this magical June 30th date. If by then he's not with us, forget it. I don't think we're doing anything.
So you just said it, Bobby. So we should just be patient until June 30th or
June
July
30th,
1st.
June 30th only matters where Dembele is concerned. I don't see the link with Kounde at all. Kounde is not out of contract. He's a purchase. So buy him. Do you see what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All this. We're doing things in the background where we don't want to be public. It's ridiculous. Liverpool will just go buy him. Man City will just go buy him. Even Spurs. So why is it when it comes to Chelsea, there's always this extra layer of negotiation that ends up nowhere anyway? We were meant to be in negotiations for Lukaku. We still ended up playing 97.6.
Then Liverpool triggered the buyout clause for Nunes.
Yeah. If you want something, you get it.
Yeah, but in Kounde's case, I think. But go ahead, Bobby. I get your point. I get your argument.
We have a dearth of defenders. We have lost Christensen. We have lost Rudiger, who is massive at the very least. The one area we should be throwing money at right now is the defense. So I can't be fooled by this idea of negotiation. It is hesitation that's going on here. And that has been the problem with the past Chelsea board. It's just a repetition of what we've been having. And if this guy slips through the net, well, would I be surprised? No. That's why I made that statement earlier. Chelsea will not make any substantial buys this summer because he is substantial for sure.
Okay, now I'm going to catch up with the chat and I'll come back to everybody. Come back to the panel. Right now we have 86 likes and we have 116 people watching. Again, people, we can do better than 86 likes. Let's shoot for 150 likes at least by the end of the show. So if you haven't liked the video, please take a second to like it. Believe me, it is free. Nobody will ask you to pay. And actually, like I said before, I'd rather you like the video than donate, because the more you like the video, the more people, the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more people will be able to reach. And the more fun it will be if we have more people here, and the quicker the channel will get to 3,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 2,959 subscribers, which means we're looking for 41 more subscribers to get to 3,000 subscribers. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Right now, Libel says, Libel, how are you doing today, brother? I hope things are well with you. He says, I actually think this report was leaked by Sevilla to make Chelsea hurry the purchase. I think Max from Button Ballers did say that yesterday. And again, great channel, by the way. So if you haven't, go check out Button Ballers YouTube channel. Believe me, you thank me later. So Max did say it. The Spanish media, they do that quite a lot to try, to make the most of a deal or to squeeze out a lot of money from the buying club. I think that may well be the case. Thank you very much for that comment. Deal CFC says, does Todd Boehly want to go with war against Barcelona? If that happens, I'd like it. Maybe that will stroke his ego and make him do something quickly, if in fact he's not being serious. But that's, by the way, I say the same way we're saying we're walking in silence, Barcelona could be walking in silence too. Yeah, and may the best win. And if Kounde decides to go to Barcelona, then he never wanted to come to us in the first place. And the nonsense that he really wants to join us, then it gets thrown out of the window. That's how I see it. That's the question. Yes, says, big up the Realist Chelsea channel, and thank you very much. I appreciate that compliment, bro, and thank you for always supporting the channel. Good day, guys. Any good news? We don't have any. I know the good news you're saying. You're asking if we've signed any player. Yes, we've signed like 100 goalkeepers for the future. If that's going to make you happy, good. If stories are correct, Barca offered less and Sevilla using them to manipulate us. That's the same thing that Max from Button Baller said yesterday, and that's the conclusion we all arrived at yesterday. Also during that debate, that may well be the case because again, we've offered more, twice as much as what they'd offer the player. So if the player wants to take a pay cut and join them, then he really wants to join them more than he wants to join Chelsea. It's as simple as that. Kounde, Barca, Bissouma, Tottenham, Nunes, Liverpool, Haaland, City, Chelsea rumors. That's, again, at this point, that's fine by me. And again, there's a chance. Let's say something to someone else. Said on the panel here, Liverpool signing of Darwin Nunes looks more like a panic buy because they're losing. They're going to lose Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich, and there's a chance they're losing Mohamed Salah too. Again, but let's see what happens. I wish the kid well. I hope he does well. Again, it wouldn't be okay to wish he doesn't do well because we're talking about one of our biggest rivals in the Premier League. It would not be okay. Again, thank you for 2,960 subscribers.
I wish he doesn't do well. I wish he doesn't do well.
That's you. That's you. Again, we all roll differently, and there's nothing wrong in you saying that.
Do well? Why? I wish he tanks. I wish he's their Lukaku.
Yeah, Bobby, I understand. Again, we have 86 likes. We need 40 more likes to get to 100 likes, and we're shooting for 150 likes by the end of the show. Says Chelsea should quickly clean up the target players in another team. Says I just find it strange Todd Boehly coming out saying weird stuff. Again, can it be confirmed that he said those things? And again, another one that's confusing to me is the comment that he may well want Romelu Lukaku to stay, but we're here to debunk that. And I think we have we have evidence that may well be absolute nonsense. Even if it does, I think it all comes down to what the manager wants. Is if he's trying or planning to fire the manager. What's all that talk about FFP? Good question. I don't know. Got Boehly is boss. Bobby, get over it. Okay, again, why did I even read that? I don't want to start reading anything that will cause people to, throw disrespect at us. So we needed to get the deals done quickly. Yep, that's the truth. He says Bobby is right, by the way. He says so. Negotiations isn't that simple. I think I have somebody in the chat that's with me. Yep, Jerry Cloney, thanks for saying that, and I hope you're good. We ain't clowning right now. We're acting like lumps. Do you want us to sign another flop? I am glad we're taking our time to sign players. That's another way to see it. We're not in a rush to bring in players. As such, we're not going to make mistakes. Because if we do, you hear the fan base start saying something like, panic buy. Lem says, I always back to Marina, but I am starting to agree with Bobby. How long does it take to negotiate a deal? If Sevilla are the problem, then forget about dealing with them and move on. That I agree with you. So that doesn't really sound like you have an issue with Marina. You're just suggesting if that doesn't work, then move on and look to some other player. This CFC, you know why it wasn't done last year. Move on. Okay, last summer, again, I'm going to skip quite a lot, get to the bottom and get back to the panel. Liam, you believe she has, okay, and I'm going to skip the conversations mainly. Glenn, nice to see you. And Douglas, he says we should, go back to John Stones. Do you think he'd be available? I think he will make a good addition to us. But I nearly read this. I nearly read the. I'm sorry. I nearly read your comment the way it appeared on the screen, which will sound like something else. But TJ, I want to come to you quickly. Oh, stop laughing, coach. TJ, the question I would ask you, should we go back to John Stones? Because he's a fine player. And I think he'd be able to fit into that Thiago Silva role quite well. I'm not sure how long he has on his contract.
Yeah, good player. I understand we were interested in him when he was obviously at Everton.
Before he joined City.
We didn't pursue the deal for whatever reason that might have been for. Would I have him? I wouldn't say no to him. I think he's a good player. Would Manchester City sell? Is another thing. I don't think they will. I think he's fitted into Pep's plans pretty well, and Pep does like him and rate him very highly. So it's very unlikely Pep will sell him. But I know there was a bit of issues with him getting into the City team when they had when they tried to bring him into the team sometime halfway through the season or in the middle of the season. But since he got introduced back into the team, he's been excellent for them. So yeah, I would love him to come, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, I think if Pep really likes you, he'd keep you. But in most cases, because he's still waiting to see, to get you to understand how he wants the game to play. I think at that point when Stones wasn't getting game time, I think he could argue that was what Pep was doing then. But I think his fit, like right now, you could argue he fits well into how Pep likes the game to be played, and he's become a regular. You could argue that. Bobby, do you think we should go for him, or do you think it's impossible now?
Sorry, for who?
John Stones. He's laughing. It's not possible for him. It's not going to be possible.
Stones?
Yeah, somebody suggested him. Somebody in the chat suggested him. That's why we're talking about him.
Look, John Stones is Christensen -1.
Really?
He is hype on two legs. He's never been a centre back that I've rated in any way, shape, or form. People say he's this sort of ball player and distributor. I think to the contrary. He does well at Man City because of the people like Laporte and so on around him. John Stones, no, I don't want him at Chelsea. We need better. We need quality, real quality at the back. He would be a panic buy.
Ty, your thoughts? The Tobacco, you can come in. Looks like Ty is away from his microphone. Tobacco, are you there? Why is it so quiet in here? Okay, right. I'm just gonna move on. Glenn. Glenn, how are you doing? I hope things are well with you. Thank you again for finding time to join. He says Barcelona going for players is a reach. They got what 500 million from the sale. They've got a debt of $1 billion. They will have like 100 million max to spend. That's good mathematics there. Tobago, your thoughts on the suggestion for us? Just if you joined us to ask a question or make your voice heard, let us know. I think we can move on from the Johnstone's thing. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Are you? Yeah, we can hear you, Tobago. That was one of your signature introduction. Go ahead. We can hear you, Tobago.
Okay, first of all, I hope you guys are good. And then, regards of John Stones, no man, we don't need John Stones.
Okay.
So
did you join us for a fight?
Kounde, yes, I rather have two. No,
you may. Oh, I think we're losing you. Go ahead. Yeah, I think you have an audio issue. You may have to go out and come back in.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Really, I don't think you're fine because we can't hear you. You have to go out and come back in, and it's gonna be weird.
No, I'm fine. We don't need John Stones.
Okay, you need to go out and come back in, Tobago. Your audio isn't good, really. Yeah, I have to be honest with you. Okay, now says John Farley, how you doing, brother? I hope things are well with you. He says, my opinion, this is a ruin. Chelsea next season, fifth. Yeah, just hold on. It's his opinion. Fifth to eighth. Boehly seemed slow-paced. Doubt if Boehly even knows how the recruitment team works. Here's what I'm going to say to everybody. Here's what I'm going to say to everybody now, because that's not his job. We have people Bobby, I get he's right. Is he right? Yes, he's right. He's absolutely right. But the truth is that the people whose responsibility is to recruit players, and it's not Boehly's. And here's what I'm going to say to everybody who's doubting Boehly right now. If at the end of the transfer window we have a good window, what are you going to do? Let me know what you're going to do. Okay?
Honestly, coach, right? What a lot of people get mistaken with is, I don't care about being wrong. I really don't care. If they prove me wrong,
we have every right to be concerned. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was saying, if they prove me wrong, I would be the happiest man.
Sweet.
I'm not afraid to say how I see it. That's the difference. I always refer back to Thiago Silva. When we were going for Thiago Silva, my goodness me, I was one of those that was vehemently against the deal. I thought, why are we going for this old man? Boy, did he prove me wrong. I was almost holding my head after that first game against West Brom when he was responsible for one of the goals. But then, he really proved himself. I'm not scared of saying they will do no business and then suddenly they start ripping up trees next week. Great. I would be happy to hear it. Why? Because it's not about me. I don't care what you think of me. I say what I feel.
No. Look, Bobby, I don't think I'm just saying, we're having a conversation here. Look, you know me too well to know I don't insult people.
Not
you understand?
You per se, coach. It's not like that. I'm talking in general terms. I don't care what this lot on the chat or Twitter or I don't really give a stuff. I've had so many attacks on Twitter about Marina alone. It just makes me laugh. A lot of them I don't block. Some of them I block them because they get a bit too much. You know, you start talking about my family, I will block you. And if I see you at the bridge, well, I can't say that. But apart from that, anything else, this is nonsense. To me, it's meaningless. I'm saying how I see it at this time. If it changes tomorrow, I am so happy. But let's see if it will change.
Yeah, here's the
No.
thing. I hope it changes. We always say that even when we sign players, we'll say, I don't like this player, but if it comes good, I'll take it and I will support him the moment he joins Chelsea. Here's the thing. We will review Chelsea's activities in the market come the end of the transfer window. It's as simple as that. And we'll see whether it's good or bad. I hope it's good. It says, John Fall, in my opinion, I think I've read that. Like I said clearly, he doesn't know. It's not his job. We have those at the club whose responsibility is take care of the recruitment aspect of the whole thing for the club. Says we've been told a lot. Apparently, he's back in Tuchel, and now he's talking about FFP. It doesn't make sense. Language deals. You know, I love you, but my language. I nearly read that one, but I caught it on time. I don't want to do that, deals, but I love you, brother. But that's by the way. Here's Max from Button Ballers. He says, Button Ballers says, big up, guys. Again, here's Max himself, who I'm talking about here. If you click through his profile, I think it will lead you to his YouTube channel. Check it out, or you just search Button Ballers. You will find him. Believe me, great content. I call him the Chelsea Encyclopedia because he knows the club very well. And believe me, watch one of his videos.
Invite him on. You know, this is one man. When he talks, people listen.
I think he's at work. He's at work. Whenever he has time, he usually asks for the link.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. So I think please go check out his YouTube channel. And when you do, tell him I sent you. Great show, says John Foley. Thank you very much, brother. That will go a long way. Correct, Glenn. Big up, Button Ballers. Everybody saying hi to Max. Big up, Glenn. I'm going to skip the conversation between those. Something wrong at Chelsea. I don't think anything is wrong. Again, that's me. If you think so, that's you. But at the end, we'll find out whether things are wrong or not. Big up, Chess Viola says, Triple says, what a load of, DJs have. You know full well why he wasn't bought. Fed up, narrative. They saw we made money from Zuma. That's a part of it. That's another way to see it. They saw we made money from Zuma and wanted to squeeze it out of us. That may well have been the case. I don't know. We're not certain. None of us were there. And again, I want to say thank you. I think we're nearing 100. We're nearing 100 likes. We're at 96 likes. There's 4 more to go. So please keep liking the video. And like I said, I'm going to repeat myself again. I don't care that much about the donations. You don't have to donate. I prefer you to show support to the channel by just liking the videos. Why? Because the more you like the video, the more people will get to join us, and the more fun it will be. And again, the more the channel will get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Right now, we have 2,962 subscribers. We're getting there, really. So thank you. And thank you for all the likes. I appreciate all your support. We shouldn't be watching our rivals strengthen. This ain't normal to watch. It's not normal. It can be painful because if you truly love Chelsea Football Club, you'd be asking yourself, what's going on here? Am I worried? Yeah, to certain measure, I'm worried. But I think if I look at things objectively, I'd still see, there's hope. I think we're doing something. There's no way you tell me the club are not looking, to rectify the defensive issue. You could argue that's obvious now. We have an issue there, which I think they will sort out. Policymakers at Chelsea under Boehly, who are they? I don't know who they are. If anybody on the panel knows, please let me know. Chelsea is stingy to spend money for our own good. We know they give shishi. Thank you for that pidgin English there. Before you wrote it into do you think I'd be able to read it? I don't think you knew, but let me know if you knew. It says that we should be getting info business ready. We'll see what happens. Big up DJ and hello everyone, says Sheila. Sheila, it's been a minute. How are you doing? I hope things are well with you. Please do let us know if you're doing well. Is Boehly just glazes or sizzles and no steak? I'm not sure. Glitz, so to speak. Question, do you believe it's true Barca even got money? I think they did. They did. We knew that was coming. We knew that was going to happen, but it remains to see. John Boehly is making decisions. Nobody else. He is not a sole owner. Welcome to corporate ownership. We knew that was going to change. The new reality, if you prefer. Mason, good luck. He's staying. Foley says Chelsea is, in my opinion, will be prepared for ill paid. In my opinion, ill prepared for a year at least. And now with new ownership, looks is it? I'm not sure. Not impressed at the old. Okay, we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure. Sorry if I can't read that. I'm confused a bit. Chelsea new prop says we heard TT saying he wasn't going on holiday. Why is he on holiday? And how are you sure he's on holiday? What if the argument is he went there, to talk to players one-on-one, like I said before, because talking to someone one-on-one makes a huge difference than talking with them on the phone. Again, that's me. So deals, we're not sure. Okay? Big up, Lisa. Just 75 more days off to go. Yeah. And the crying will continue. Yep. Roman Abramovich spoiled Chelsea. Now we're facing the new reality of which I'm not sure we're well trained, to adapt to. We're ready to adapt to. John Foley, Roman chose the ball. He consulted him for a reason, and I think we'll be all right. I think this point, let's look at this. I'll call this a delicious comment. Roman didn't just choose the ball. He consulted him out of the blue. He looked at them, probably talked with Boehly, or some of them to a certain measure before deciding, I think these guys will be right for the club. And why are we, throwing out all the argument that Roman is going to leave us in good hands? So just calm down. Calm down, people.
Yes.
We will be okay. Yeah.
And even the last statement Roman Abramovich wrote in the Chelsea, he said, I'm giving this ownership to this new consultant. So clearly, he met them, he talked with them, and then they agreed with him that they'll do well for Chelsea Football Club. Anyways, it's too early to judge the new owners and stuff. Remember, this is a roller coaster road. They need to just be careful and then sign players in the right time and players that will fit into our systems. Yes, our rival are strengthening, but again, we need to be careful. We end up signing players like, I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, I understand. Here's one delicious comment. And if I'm reading DJ and Ty, if you guys see anything you want to address quickly, you can comment. Libel says, if there are fans out there saying Boehly out, you should stop watching Chelsea, start watching tennis. I think that qualifies as a delicious comment. I must say that. Libel, that's not fair on tennis. They should take off droughts and checkers. Oh, it's over for Chelsea. Yeah, it's over. I'm not out. Just what I was gonna say, it's over for you, but that won't be nice. Please be be kind. On the tones, good choice. I'm not gonna read that. Tuchel doesn't care. He will find work elsewhere if needed. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Boehly has withheld 100 million on legal concerns. Lukaku was worth thereabouts. Again, let's see what happens. Again, making some good points there. Should we sign Rice and Sterling? We will nearly have a full England lineup. Just got to watch out. We never signed Southgate. that's hilarious. The transfer window opened 9th June and closes August 31st. We think we have time, but actually we don't. Teams are out there strengthening while we are looking at players. We need to get our targets now. Now, how are you sure? Let me know how you're sure that we're just looking at players, that we're not, making progress in terms of talks with those players. Again, I don't think it's okay to just judge out of them. Now, I want to say thank you for 103 likes. I wholeheartedly do appreciate that. And how do I pay you back? It's just to keep going and keep, bringing up new ways, finding new ways, new objective ways to entertain you, to get you educated on whatever that's going on that concerns our beloved club. And again, believe me, I'll try. I and the Chelsea perspective team will try not to disappoint you. Again, thank you very much for that. True Blue says, I've read that from Sheila, says, Mikhail, legal tone of any more outstanding by Roman. Don't start conspiracy. Okay. Again, if Todd Boehly, comes to sit down at first game of the season, we have no players Tuchel wants. Again, we'll see what happens. I'm going to skip quite a few and get to the bottom. Felix says, we should face the new reality. Roman's big check is gone. That's a delicious comment already. Boehly has to consult the investors before making any decisions concerning money. Again, I'm going to go back to when I had the show saying expensive, good players doesn't have to be expensive. We argued on that show that things may change in the future, and that I don't think Chelsea fans are ready for it, and it's happening now. But that's, by the way, Sheila tend to actually, that was a week ago, and that's English window for English to English deals. Get facts right. Again, that's correct. Titi said a number of times before the season ended that because of the sanctions, we are far behind. Let that one sink in. Thank you. That's another good comment there. We are far behind all the teams in the market. We need to act quickly. So does it look like we're acting quickly? I think there's no way to tell whether we are or not. Says, hi, Kuchila. Is Kounde the only defender in the world? No, he's not. If we turn away to look for other competent defenders, they might probably come back with a reduced beat. That's a chance that happens. But again, but we don't know. If we don't even get Kounde and we get the Ligt, I'll be okay. I'll be happy, actually. I'll be even more happier because he can play in that position. He can play in the center. He can play in the left too. And he can lead the back line comfortably in the back three position. Maybe Chelsea going through a fire is what needs to happen. Seems so. We are now 2 years behind with rebuilding. Let's see what happens. Mane, Origi, definitely. Possibly Salah. Does Liverpool window look good? It doesn't really at this point. It doesn't. Again, what's the point of saving 5 million? I don't know. It's business. When it's business, 5 million is huge. Even 300,000, 600,000 is huge. I know some people, again, it just really doesn't make sense that we just want the club to just pay the club how much they're asking us because we want a certain player. We've put in a bid, which is good enough. I'm not saying it's good enough, which is good, which shows we're serious. And we learned that when negotiating, negotiating the fee. Let me see if I still have that comment open here somewhere. I'm going to find it. So I think the panic concerns me really. Here's the thing, say, Chelsea have already got the financial agreement in place with Kounde in terms of contracts. They've not got a fee agreed, but they are in dialogue with Sevilla. That should be enough. He is really up for joining Chelsea. So why are we, going at the club to say just pay the money? 5 million is quite a lot of money when you're talking about a business, when you're talking about profit-focused new owners. This is no longer Roman Abramovich. And this is Julius Okorocha, Igbo boy says, fine play. I'm not sure why you're saying fine play. You let me know. I want to know. True Blue, I missed your comment and cannot see it, so I'm not sure what to answer back. Sorry. Yeah, again, Koulibaly, delete Cowell, and Ampar, the defensive issues solved. I do agree. A mix of new players and the academy players who've shown and proven that they can do that. Liam, certain people have an agenda. Again, I'm going to go into that. Tobago, can you hear me? Always says, we might have been scammed about what? Let me know what you're talking about. Liam, we don't know if acting quickly, players are still under contract. Yeah, and you could act quickly and make a mistake. So you have to be sure your moves are well calculated so you don't sign the wrong players and then we're in trouble. Let's hit the like button. Yes, people, keep liking the video. And again, thank you for 100 plus likes. We're shooting for the 150 likes by the end of the show. And believe me, I know we can do that. And if you haven't please do subscribe to the channel. And thank you for 108 likes. And we need just 35 more subscribers to get to 3,000 subscribers. And I still do believe that can happen today. And now it's against Lewandowski, Paris before. Tots and Barca generating cash. It's caused a lot of concerns in the Chelsea fan base, within the Chelsea fan base, because they feel like they're going to they may well decide to keep Dembele, and also they'd be able to sign Jules Kounde, but I don't think that will happen. Kachila, are you Nigerian? Yes, I was born in Nigeria. I was born in northern Nigeria, so I can speak Hausa, I can speak Igbo too, but for majority of my life, I've spent in United States. So again, yes, I'm an Igbo boy, to be precise, if you want to know. Yes. But thank you for that question, Mr. Kochila. Lukaku, the Zuma squeeze extra cash was one of your narratives. You have changed. Can you explain that further? I want to get that. I want to understand that. Can you explain what you're saying there? So let me see if you're misquoting me, and I'll know what to say to you. But again, big up, guys. But I'd like to, to be corrected whenever I'm wrong, because I don't know everything. We're all learning from each other. Big up, guys. Much love from Zimbabwe. Nice to see you here, brother. Patience, no panic again. Thank you, brother, for saying that. DJ, coming back to the panel, your final thoughts on the Kounde argument so we can move on.
The Kounde situations. I'm still confident we're going to get the player. I've never ever said we're never going to get him. I'm still confident the deal will get done for him. It's just a matter of when it is. I think what a lot of Chelsea fans are looking at is a lot of the clubs that are supposed to be our rivals are moving quite fast in the market. Obviously, you're seeing Man City getting Haaland, possibly Cucurella, maybe going there as well. Liverpool, Darwin Núñez. There's all links to another midfielder they're linked with. Then you're seeing the word. I think the thing Chelsea fans, I think we're more concerned is that you're seeing Arsenal do some crazy business as well. I mean, they signed a midfielder yesterday. There's also talks of Gabriel Jesus is more likely to be going there as well. And then they're making and then apparently there's Victor Osimhen as well, who's been mentioned as well. Not that I think he'll go there, but when Chelsea fans are seeing all that out there, they're obviously concerned about what we're doing at Chelsea, and obviously you've got Tottenham as well, who are doing business. And then they're even making some, even it might be speculation, but they're making some mad offer or going all out to get Lautaro Martinez. I saw there was offers going down for 17 million, 90 million, but I don't believe any of it is true. But I think when Chelsea fans are thinking things like that, and we've not done anything, it's a bit of a concern. But for me, as I said, I've always been cool about this. I believe we're going to get business done. It's just a matter of when one comes through the door, you'll see 2, maybe 3 coming through the door in the same week. So it's just a matter of when that happens. Hopefully very soon.
I haven't really asked you, DJ. Are you, before I go to Ty, are you concerned, really?
Myself, not really. You asking Ty or me, bro? Sorry.
You. Yeah, I want to get because I haven't asked you this question. Are you concerned?
No,
really?
I'm not. I've never. I've always
let us
been.
know why you, because we're trying to calm people down.
I've always been.
Give me some of it. Give me some of your unconcern.
Listen, the reason that I've always been cool. I've always been, even when this whole thing came with the takeover, all right, people were saying we could go into administration, I was never on one of those people that was jumping on that bandwagon. I said it was going to happen. It was going to happen. It will happen. It's a matter of when it will happen. And the same thing with the Chelsea transfer business. I'm confident things will get done. It's just a matter of when. We've got to stop the negativity. I'm thinking it's not going to happen. I know it's been slow. This is how Chelsea, but those who've known Chelsea and supported Chelsea for years and years and years, you would know this is how Chelsea do their business. They start off slow. I mean, obviously, in the first years of Roman Abramovich's era, yes, we were the first club on the table. Transfer window opens, boom, boom, boom. We get our signings. We're done for the rest of the window. And other clubs are out there getting their players in. But Chelsea slightly in the last couple of years, even when Roman was still there, we were moving slightly different. We were being a little bit slow with our business, but we still got stuff done. But yeah, look. We're just going to be cool. I've always been cool, calm, and collected over it, and I think the business will get done. It's just a matter of, as I said, when one comes to the door, then others will follow as well.
Yeah, and I want to say this quickly to Omar. I think Ratcliffe should have got this club These new owners are joking, bro.
The
We
man never
should have
wanted the
got.
club. He just
I'm
wanted
coming. I had the
profits.
first fixed already. It's not the simple. It's if you do this in a rush. I've said this before. They say, assembling a team is like a puzzle. And that's especially true when you talk about the defensive department, because you need a mix of aggression, pace, and cool-headedness to have a perfect defensive line. And I hope you understand why I say that. I'm not going to keep, talking about it every time somebody talks about that. And you don't judge the new owners yet. Just let the man get into his office and sit down. Then you can start, maybe a few days more, you can start complaining. I think we're still fine now. Ty, go ahead and say what you want to say, brother.
I was saying the Radcliffe guy was in for profit. He realized he tried to sneak in when it was close to Boehly being the one that would have been selected. So
And that's probably why this brother thinks he should have gotten it, because he came in with a lot of money.
Yeah, but he's coming in with he's not even a Chelsea fan. He lied about being a Chelsea fan. He's a Man United fan, and he said that he was a Chelsea fan. He isn't. The only Chelsea fans that were actually in for the ownership was Nick Candy, Sir Martin Broughton, and the Saudi media group. Those were the only three, and we all know that all three of those they wanted the club, but they just couldn't. They didn't have the finance, so they weren't chosen. So people need to relax. I mean, I'm not judging them yet. I'm concerned. I wish I was like DJ, who's not concerned, but I'm concerned because the more we go into the window, unless we're going to be going out for unknowns, that's the only thing that will make me not be unconcerned. Or players that we didn't expect, we were able to claw them away from their clubs. Players are contracted until 2027. We just happen to see them holding up a shirt, and they need to see a report saying that Chelsea had met with these players behind the scenes, away from cameras and everything, social media, and they signed them. That's the only way I'm not going to be concerned. But right now, we're going to miss out on players because people are using the excuse of settling in. I don't see settling in being a thing. I believe that the decision making is just slow, because it's not like Roman Abramovich, who, if Tuchel says, I want Jules Kounde, I want Ousmane Dembele, just using examples. If I want these players, can you get me these players? It's not like that, because, like I was saying before, it's a partnership, and you need each person to agree on the next step that should be taken. So yes, they may be still trying to get their feet under the table, but I mean, you still have to discuss this. If you're going to say that you're going to back the manager, you clearly have to see what's going on in the window. At least say, let's make a 10 million bid. So at least the fans can know that we're doing something. But I'm going to wait until July 28th. If nothing happens then you know that Todd Boehly gave the fans false hope, because he said he's going to back the manager. If he doesn't do it, then
we'll see. Right now, Kronenstein says, just hope we have a transfer soon. I will be more worried end of June. Thank you. At least that's a good time. You've given him time to get into his office and sip on his coffee, for a while before you start complaining. So thank you, Dan. Button Ballers, Max from Button Ballers again. People, be sure to go check out this channel. Believe me, you will thank me later. Again, he says, I am at work, so just listening today, but enjoying the debate. Thank you. That goes a long way. Hopefully, everybody's back off holiday soon to start getting our club running. I don't think Tuchel went on Italy solemnly for vacation. Again, I have my reasons for that. Max says, smash the like button, people. Excellent content. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, if you haven't clicked, I think you should be able to click through his name and go to his channel and be sure to subscribe. And on the panel, please be sure to go follow DJ Sav at CFC. You will see him on Twitter. Give him a follow. Again, all this, he just goes on to panels, talking about Chelsea, and is very knowledgeable of the club. He does all that for free. He's not being paid. And Ty Talks has a YouTube channel. Go check out his YouTube channel. Make sure to follow him and be sure to tell him I sent you. You will not regret it. Sorry?
I'm deactivating, so don't tell people to follow this account. I'm gonna put up the new account.
Your Twitter account.
Yeah, I'm gonna deactivate.
Okay, no problem. And then again, go check out Tobago _CFC. He's starting a new YouTube channel soon, so keep your eyes open for that too. And again, let's keep supporting the community. We're family here. I'm gonna try to catch up with the chat quickly, then we switch to Romelu Lukaku, or maybe if Tobago has something to say, he says it before we move on. Again, it says Omar, nobody wanted Rack Life because his English. Do you think that's correct? And again, maybe that's just your what you're assuming. Why nobody is talking about Ronald Rojo, height, speed, and passion and pace? Anybody on the panel want to take up that? I don't know the player that well.
And I know the player.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us about him. What do you think?
Actually, what I know about this player, if I'm not mistaken, he is about to sign a new contract, or he already signed a new contract at Barcelona. So if Chelsea will be after him, Barcelona will need a lot of cash. So, man. But
okay,
it's
go ahead.
But he's a good player, so if you'll be able to sign him, I won't have any problem, because like as they said, Aranjo from Barcelona.
Araujo, I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Araujo, the man is on a contract until 2027. What?
No, Ty, didn't listen to me. I said first, I think he signed or is about to sign a new contract. So if you're going to buy him, Chelsea need to pay a lot of money. So that's the issue before mentioning his abilities.
Yeah. Again, I have to agree with AD for Love for Blue here, who says, don't forget agreement with player is irrelevant, just verbal agreement. We didn't have medical with Spurs before joining us. Again, until the player puts pen to paper, nothing is done. City 1, Liverpool 2, Spurs 3. Going into panic overload. Yeah, we shouldn't be panicking. We also got to remember Abramovich could afford to make mistakes in the transfer market. The Boehly consortium need to be smarter. This is just another delicious comment. We need to be smart, and he said it before. So we shouldn't be surprised they're not rushing into paying money for players or just signing them. Coach, you're a proper Nigerian. One love, coach. One love to you too, brother. Thank you very much for saying that. The Barca money will have to cover debt too. Okay, so it's not like they're going to have quite a lot left. So we must consider that too. I said it before, Boehly is no fit to be CFC owner. We'll see. We'll see if you're correct. You just judge him quickly because we haven't announced the players, but calm down. If Lukaku sees Martinez go, then we are toast. He wouldn't want to go back. We'll see what happens then. Kochila, you voiced we're right to ignore Sevilla moving at the gate post, trying to get a chunk of Zuma money. Your tune has changed. Tell me how my tune has changed. No, I would never say it was okay that we didn't sign him then. Yes, we didn't sign him, and also it turns out to be a blessing in disguise because Chalobah played, and I also agree. Had we signed him, Chalobah would not have gotten the chance. Who knows? I was never for the club giving Sevilla what they wanted to get Kounde. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if anybody is here thinking my tune has changed, no, it hasn't. And I'm not saying Chelsea should pay Sevilla what they're asking. And during this particular show, I've said it like 3 times. We have to negotiate. And I argued we've made a bid already. And that's how those things work. So don't tell me, no, my tune haven't changed. I'm not going to let you win this one, True Blue. Please be careful. Yeah. We shouldn't be. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, you're right. We need to negotiate deals. We can't let the club saying a player is 100 million and then we are going to give you the money you need. You need to explain to us why you're saying this player is valued 100 million and then we'll come and say, no, please, man, we'll give you 80 million. And is that part of negotiation? No need to rush into things.
Yeah. And if you remember, I said, what happens if we give Sevilla what they're asking? We're still not going to need 2 or 3 more defenders other clubs will take note and they'll see us as desperate. Didn't I say that during the show? I said it. So you misquoted me. I don't know what vibes you're hearing that makes you think my tone is changing. No, it hasn't. I sincerely wanted to believe that Chelsea FC board are planning transfers low key, because what's all this quietness? I am weak. That's another way, because you're not sure. You can't know. I don't. Again, we're all entitled to our respective opinions. But the truth is, I don't think it would be fair to come out and start judging the club because you're not sure what's going on behind the scenes. And I've also referenced Peter Cech's comment saying it's going to be a busy transfer window, that he practically lives on the phone. If you paid attention to his comment, which means they're doing something. So I don't know how else to phrase it. I'm going to try to catch up and come back to the panel because we have a few minutes to round up so we can talk about the next player we have. Just a second, since we got assessed, etc. Again, Todd Boehly talked the talk. Give him time. So Deals, I love you, brother. Let's give him time to see whether he'll walk the walk. Again, we must give him time. Campus says, have Chelsea now signed a player? Again, wait until you see a player holding up a shirt and putting pen to paper. Then you'll say, we have signed one. Build a new squad with a new owner, a new coach requires a time. We need time. Slow and steady always win the race. If you make, if we go into the market and then buy whatever player that's available, then we may well be causing more problems than solving the problems we have. Let's start the protest on Sunday against Todd Boehly outside Stamford Bridge. These owners, I am not with you on that one. Sorry. True Blue, I can see that you are hopeful and staying positive, which is really a good thing. But let's face the fact Barca has all it takes to sign Kounde and renew Dembele. Would they do it? Would they renew Dembele's contract? No. Would Dembele want to stay? I don't think so. I have my reasons to argue that they've fallen out. Says Ratcliffe is a Manchester United, but a Chelsea season ticket holder. So that may well mean that he's a Chelsea fan. You don't know. These owners are not serious.
Unless he's bipolar, you can't be. You cannot be a Man United. You cannot be going out and expressing that. Oh, I love Man United. Oh, come on, man. A Chelsea fan doesn't go and say, "Oh, I love Man United." And yes, Chelsea are not doing good right now, but Man United are going to overtake them. He literally said that. You don't say that about your club. You don't say that if you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a season ticket holder.
Yeah. And Julius here says there's still 2 months of the transfer window left. I don't understand why some Chelsea fans worldwide are in a panic mode. Please trust the process. It's as simple as that. But that's, by the way, I'm going to come back to the panel. And my brother Deal CFCC, because let's see what's out there on Twitter. I don't know if it's because of the way I'm trained. I don't just take whatever I see on social media as I see them. I analyze information. And I think I would advise us all to start doing that. I analyze information to say, okay, to come to arrive at a sensible conclusion and say, okay, well, this is out there, this is out there, and this is out there. So put them all together. This is impossible. The other stuff is impossible. I don't just come to conclusions straight up based on what I see there. Deals, I love you, but this comment, I like it because it helps me tell people how I judge. That's why sometimes I sound like, I don't agree with most people, but that's why we're here, to have a show, to, debate and come to a sensible conclusion by the end of the show. But that's, by the way, so we're linked with Kounde, Dembele, Ligt, Koulibaly, Sterling, Martinez, Jesus, Gabriel Rice, the Spurs and Arsenal. Panic. No, they didn't. That's just the truth. Coachella, you don't sit down when you still have work to do. This club keep moving. Boehly has to do the needful. How do you know they're sitting down? Solomon, you let me know. So I'm just going to go back to the panel quickly because we don't have too much time here. But before I do that, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for 115 likes. That's not easy at all. And thank you for 2,967 likes, which means we have just, I think you could say 33 likes more, 33 subscribers more. We have 2,967 subscribers, and we need just 33 subscribers more to get to 3,000 subscribers. And I know we can do that. So please keep liking the video. I see that will go a long way for the channel. So coming back to the panel, DJ, your thoughts are on where we are with the Lukaku rumors and everything you've seen out there.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a strange one with Mr. Lukaku, hasn't it? It's first of all, he's obviously made up his mind that he wants to go into Milan, and Inter Milan is the only club he wants to go to. You know, I know Chelsea there were a lot of talks going around, or rumours going around, if you want to call it that, or people were just saying, I don't know how true it was, that Chelsea were trying to flog him off to Bayern Munich because they were willing to pay some money for him, but he doesn't like he wants to go Bayern Munich. But the latest I've heard is the fact that they've obviously made a couple of loan offer moves for him, and Chelsea have turned a couple of the offers down already. They've put the offer in now at, I do believe it's 10 million or 12 million euros for him now, whatever that is in English in terms of a loan, getting another loan deal offered to them, because Chelsea turned down, I do believe it was 7 and 8 million. Or something like they've turned down 7 to 8 million. So now they've opted up. They're upping up to 10 to 12, and apparently negotiations are still ongoing for that deal to happen. It might, in fact, that Chelsea may actually agree on it. Is still to be seen. But from what I'm hearing, is it's supposed to be a close. It's supposed to be a closed deal soon. He should hopefully get his move to Inter Milan. We'll hopefully get an unhappy player off the books for a little while at least, until he goes on loan to Inter Milan. But we're just waiting for that to happen. Apparently some stuff was supposed to be going down today, and they're saying by Sunday, how true this is I don't know, Sunday he's supposed to be coming Inter Milan player. But again, it's all rumours and talks at the moment. I actually want to see it happen until the club actually come out and put a statement down saying this is all but being done. I'm not going to believe everything I'm seeing around. So let's see what happens on it. I'm still confident he'll be going. Because I do believe, and I think that maybe the reason why probably we've not started any of our business is because of maybe him. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're trying to get him off the books first before they go and start the negotiations. Sorry, mate, was that
one person?
I'm not saying it is. You know, I said Ty. I'm not saying it is because of that reason. I'm just saying that maybe that could be a reason out there. Maybe why they're not doing anything. I don't know. I'm not saying it's 100% that. All I'm basically saying is that they're trying to get him off their books, and hopefully that will happen very, very soon.
Yeah. Again, let's look at what's out there already. This says Romelu Lukaku could be undergoing his Inter medical as early as next week. A discount for Chelsea for Denzel Dumfries, who Inter values at 45 million, could be key in the negotiations over Romelu Lukaku loan deal. And I think one thing I like, I don't know how truthful that is the deal involves an obligation to buy. If I heard that's with an option to buy, I'd say, okay, really, we're not smart. Tobago, your thoughts?
Yeah, to be honest, I think this Lukaku issue, this Lukaku issue is just dragging us full stop backwards. It's so annoying, but hopefully today, tomorrow, or before Sunday, this should be wiped off, and then he'll be an Inter player. If it's possible, yes, we have a right to negotiate with Inter Milan and tell them, you know what, we like one of your players. Will you try to give us, or just reduce the price? Who knows? If that's the deal, we should take it. But as soon as Lukaku goes, Chelsea fans will be here, because now everyone at Chelsea wants Lukaku to be out. So yeah, man, and let's grant this guy his way to Inter Milan. He didn't do good for us. Let's just let him go. And then again, this is a lesson bring players that want to play for the club, not players that want to be the boss or to be the main man. There's no main man in Chelsea.
Yeah,
All players are
yeah.
equal. Thank you.
Deals is making me jealous now. He says, "Oh, when I'm going up the beach with the speaker with good music, good vibes." Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Now coming back to the panel, Ty, your thoughts. And this one here says Chelsea and Inter Milan are getting closer to find an agreement. Romelu Lukaku could be an Inter player by the end of the day, as soon as today. That's to hear. And let's see what people are saying here. And this brother here says, if this happens when we are partying this weekend, okay, says I hope it happens, but only as long as it's best for the club. To at what cost? Who do we get in return? Again, one thing is sure, it's never going to be a swap deal. I think whatever player we're getting from them will be structured into the deal, but I'm not sure who, to be precise. Rumors are we're asking for like 3 players from them, which to me looks like Inter has become a shopping center for us. Ty, your thoughts on Lukaku? Do you think he stays? Do you think he leaves? From what you've seen so far,
I hope he leaves, and I think he's going to leave. I said this yesterday. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see a picture of him, even if it's smiling. I don't want to see it. Even I don't want to even see when it gets announced. Honestly, because I cannot believe what he's done.
Yeah. I'm not here to judge what he's done, but I want him to leave because it will be good for him. It will be good for the club. And DJ said 100% people check out Bottom Ballers. That's the YouTube channel again, Bottom Ballers. Go check out his YouTube channel and you will love it. Excellent channel and content provided. If you want to know the history of the club and let us on go and follow him and subscribe. I think he's approaching 6,000 now or even more. I'm not sure the number. But you should go check out this content, more important. And if you like what you see, do subscribe. I'm just worried that Tuchel may argue with Todd Boehly because that Todd Boehly doing, I'm not sure. We're not sure Todd Boehly is with anything at the moment. Again, anything to address here? It's sunny day in the UK, short shirty in that vibe. You're making me even more jealous. Okay, Deals, you and I are going to have a fight here. Deals, how's things in Portsmouth? Okay, they're talking now. No, Kachila, it was same with Broughton, Candy, etc. People said it's clearly we want the American. I think here's one thing I can agree. I think people were somewhat biased against the British, should I say those that were also wanted to back the club also, and Americans too. The preference then were the Saudis and also Pagliuca, should I say Italian American. Yeah, I get your point. I think you're correct. People were biased against potential British owners. Good brother, it's quite up here. Again, I'm not going to read anything that's going to make me even further jealous. But that's by the way, you said earlier that my opinion, you didn't defend Marina. When did I defend Marina all the time? And I have my reasons. And one thing I've only said is that, is she perfect? I say no. We're all humans and we all make mistakes, So, yeah, but I'm not Marina. Again, another thing I must say, I'm not Marina's lawyer. Let me just put it that way. But I always defend her. I always be the first to say that she's a negotiator, which in fact I learned from my friend Stav. So I'm going to let you know that I'm just afraid Chelsea will panic buy. No, we're not going to panic buy. Calm down, Adil Putra. And it looks like this is your first time here. Again, I want to say thank you to 100. And I want to get the correct number here. 120 likes. That's not easy. And thank you for 2,971 subscribers. We're getting there. So we need just 29 more subscribers to get to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you. But then again, please, we can do better than that. Keep liking the video. We're shooting for 150 likes and we have just a few minutes to round up the show. Keep liking the video because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more people would be able to reach, and more people will have, the more the fun the show will be, and that way the channel can grow. And as I've said, I prefer you to actually like the video than donate to the channel, because the more you like the video, the more the channel grows and the better for the channels. So thank you very much for 120 plus likes, and thank you for all those who have subscribed already. I cannot thank you enough. We've gained nearly 30 subscribers today, and we can do better than that. Remember, I've told you before that my analytics shows from 80 to 85%, I think it is now, of Blue Morning, of those that watch Blue Morning show, even returning viewers have not subscribed. But again, maybe it takes people time to say, okay, I think I like this show. If that's the case, I'm fine with it. But the views also do matter. So thank you again for that much subscribers and for that much likes. That will go a long way. Again, it says we are desperate for defenders anyway. Clubs know this, so it doesn't matter who we go for. They will up the price. Thank you. I think this is another delicious comment there, and that's what I'm saying. So starting with Kounde, if we give Sevilla what they want, then when we go for another defender, those clubs, they won't budge. They say, okay, yeah, we're going to stand where we are. I think they will give us the money. So thank you for that delicious comment there, Dan. Emerson Primary plus Jorginho for delete. Would that be enough? I think Juventus would think otherwise, if you ask me. I don't think that will be the case. I'm going to come to the panel because I'm not going to be able to read every comment. If I continue, I will not be able to finish it, and we'll come to the end of the show. So I will go to the panel, start talking with the panel. Tobago, your thoughts on Romelu Lukaku? What you think about the developments we're seeing? Do you think he stays, or do you think he's going to leave? Okay, Tobago, let me know when you're back. And this year, by PYS, I don't know if I should pronounce it Pies or Peace. I don't know. Tomorrow, this was yesterday. Tomorrow could be the day for Lukaku's returning to Inter. More contacts between clubs today. Chelsea is interested in Skriniar, Dumfries, and Bastoni. That's 3 players. And that's one of the reasons why I say it looks like Inter Milan is a shopping plaza, a player shopping plaza for Chelsea Football Club right now. It remains to be seen. The 3 of them, Skriniar, Dumfries, and Bastoni, I don't think we get the 3 of them. DJ, your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen these 3 players. There's another player that was mentioned as well that's been mentioned amongst the negotiations. Is it Steven De Vrij as well, the centre back
from Inter too?
From Inter too, yeah. De Vrij, that he pronounces. Yeah, he's another one that's been mentioned as well to come to us as well. But listen, Skriniar, from what I understand, I would like Skriniar. I think I do rate Skriniar, and I do rate. In fact, Bastoni's not bad either, and so is Dumfries. I think Dumfries is good as well. But there's a lot of talk of Skriniar going to PSG. I've been hearing that there's been an agreement in place for him and Inter Milan for him to go there. How true that is, again, I don't know. But they seem to be strongly lit with him. So whether we'll end up pulling off Skriniar on this deal, I don't know. But then Pies generally gets his things right anyway. So if he's actually saying those 3 players have been mentioned, then I will have to go along with what he's actually saying on there. He generally gets things right. So, yeah, I mean, so Dumfries as well, not a bad shout. I think he could come in. Obviously we need that cover for Reece James. Should Reece James get injured, I think he could be a good covering player. And then Bastoni, I do think he's a good one. I think he's a replacement to come in for Rudiger. So, again, a very good player. I won't say he's a bad player. I think he's a really, really good player. And if we can get any of them in, it'll be great. But I've also been hearing that Inter Milan are not going to be using or throwing any players in the deal. So again, it's all mixed and batches. But like I said, I generally go with what Pies generally says is right. So if we can get one of those players plus Lukaku going to Inter Milan, I'll be happy because, as I said, they know we need those positions filled. That we're in and those 3 players that are linked with us.
Which should we prioritize? Which should we prioritize? Dumfries to me naturally is out of the question because I think Dusan Stalin is being spoken about.
Yes, that's the reason why that one.
And if we're gonna sign Kounde, he can fulfill that role for us
as well.
And we have We have what's his name, Chalobah, who can fit in well. Who's proven that he can play that Kounde role, which is the right centre back position. So which of them should we prioritize here?
You see,
is it Bastoni or Skriniar?
They're the two for me, coach. But as I said, I do like Skriniar. I think he's a really, really good centre back. I think I've seen him. I've watched him live, but I've seen him play a lot of times with Serie A, and I think he's a very, his understanding of the game, his reading of the game is absolutely brilliant. I mean, we can get him at the football club. That would be great. Bastoni's another one, and people say he's young, he's raw, but still, he might be young, but he's still a good defender. And I think he could come in as well and do that really good. Could possibly replace Rudiger. Not straight away, because obviously, as I said, he's still slightly, for me, raw a little bit. But he's still a good player. But I understand Inter Milan won't want to let him go either. So for me, it'd probably be Skriniar out of all of them. But again, that depends on the PSG.
DJ.
Yeah.
I think the realistic one will be Dumfries, because remember Bastoni's agent recently said
yes as well.
That means nothing. That means nothing, Tobago. You want to start a fight with me and I'm going to win.
No, I'm not fighting.
No, I know he's going to say that.
No, I'm just kidding. Same fight. I was just kidding. Go ahead, brother. Tell us why you
all
think
I'm
so.
saying, like, his agent said Bastoni's remaining in the club. And Skriniar worth 80 million. So PSG are looking for him, and then Chelsea.
I think they rejected the bid. Inter rejected the bid from PSG.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Dumfries. I think so. Dumfries is the realistic one for me, because like I haven't heard anything new about him. But we'll wait and see.
Here's the thing: Inter needs to sell too. We must recognize that. I think the guy there that will fetch him the most money to be able to balance the books will be Skriniar. But the question remains, how much are Chelsea going to be willing to pay? And I think he will help us solve the issues we have in the centre-back area that Dumfries will. Bastoni, while I'd argue this, and I've said that on this show before, Bastoni is a person who starts on the left-hand side, and Skriniar gets to play on the left-hand side if Bastoni isn't playing. Even on the right-hand side, Skriniar gets to play only when the guy that starts on the right-hand side isn't playing. So the question is, why is he that pricey? I'm not sure. But from the little I've seen, I think he's a good player overall. But I'd take Bastoni over, I'll take Skriniar over those guys because he looks 100%. The most mobile against. That's me. So, Ty, your thoughts, Bastoni or Skriniar for you?
How about neither? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you let us know why. That's your choice.
Bastoni, I'm just joking.
Why did you say Bastoni? Why you choosing Bastoni? Let us know.
Because I think he's I think he's left-footed. Is he left-footed or am I wrong?
Let me check for you. But go ahead. I'll check for you. Traditionally left-footed. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm saying that if you want to go that route of finding a replacement, you get a player like him, so you can rotate if you want him. And I think if Koulibaly ends up going to Barcelona, because that's the thought right now that he wants to go to Barcelona, then you have an option like him. The thing is, when people say that he's not for sale, you don't say a player is not for sale and put a price tag on them. When something's not for sale, you don't price them. That's contradicting. So you can't say he's not for sale and then you say his price is this range. That's stupid. So I think people need to be careful of that, because we can say that he's not for sale and then they say that he is worth this amount of money. So for me, I think because he's left-footed, I think probably be the most ideal thing to do, and he's young, so he has room for improvement. He's not the greatest player in terms of coming in after Rudiger, but he has this ability that would be beneficial on that left side, and it would be good because we would still have competition on that side.
Here's one more question I want to ask the panel. We still have a few minutes to go. It's now, Of all these defenders we're looking at, I'm not sure how serious the club is about getting Koulibaly. Only you could say Ligt of all these players is capable of leading the back line if Thiago Silva isn't playing. That if we're not serious about getting Koulibaly. So of all the lists, I wouldn't say Kounde should be is capable of doing that comfortably and as well as Thiago Silva, fulfills that role. DJ, your thoughts of all these defenders, who else, if not Ligt, is capable of doing that? And we're not really sure how yet. There are rumors that we're leading the race to sign Ligt, but other than Ligt, who amongst these defenders that we're linked with is capable of leading the back line for us?
You've just said one of the names that I've chosen over De Ligt, and as I said to you on your previous streams, it's not that I don't rate De Ligt. I actually think he's a top-notch defender for me. But the one player I'd love to see come to Chelsea, and I've said it already, is Koulibaly. I would love him I'd love him to come to Chelsea because I think he brings with him experience, he brings with him leadership. He's got that understanding with Mendy as well in the goal. So they already know each other's game in that way. So for me, he brings that to the. Sorry, bro.
Are we serious about him?
I like to
Are
think.
we serious about
I like to think we are. When I talk about targets, I like to think he's one of our targets. Yes. I mean, it's not like he's a bad defender. I think he's a world-class defender, and if we can bring him, people say, but he's 30 years old. It doesn't matter if he's 30 years old. The guy's still experienced and he's quality, and people, as Bobby alluded on to earlier on about Thiago Silva, the eyebrows were raised when he came to Chelsea. 36-year-old coming to Chelsea. Look what this guy's done. I mean, this guy's 5 years younger than Thiago Silva, or 7 years younger than Thiago Silva. All right. But for me, and for me, he's the kind of player that would actually replace Rudiger for leadership qualities, for one. He's as well. No, I honestly, you're laughing at what I'm saying, Tuff. I think he personally
I'm
has.
not laughing. I just sighed.
Side. Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, I thought you did, mate. Sorry. For me, I think he's the kind of player I'd love to see at Chelsea. Is Koulibaly if over De Ligt.
But I think you make a perfect sense. I hope, but I don't know. I hopefully we're truly looking at him. Hopefully we made him an offer that he can't not resist. Again, it's all business for everybody. If that's the case, I don't see the reason why he still joined Barcelona for something that will be half, not even maybe half of what we're offering him. Tobago, I'm gonna get your thoughts.
In terms of leadership defender, I'm going to second. Mm-hmm. I'm going to second with DJSF. Koulibaly will be a perfect fit for us. For example, young players around him will learn more from him. And also, what I like about Koulibaly is no-nonsense defender. He's so aggressive. So I like this kind of defender. So unfortunately, we're losing Rudiger. So Koulibaly will give us similar to Rudiger. I'm not saying is better than Rudiger or less than Rudiger, but he will give us similar play with Rudiger. So getting Koulibaly will be a good fit for us. Also, we should be ahead of who's this guy, Kimpembe, because Tuchel wants him, but just the rumors. So again,
and that's a chance we're looking at. We're looking at him. You never know.
Yes, and then he already played under Tuchel, and then also the fact that PSG want to sign a new centre back, he might as well feel like his position will be under threat. So he's a leader too. So we'll wait and see. But Koulibaly is my number one, regardless.
Ty, for you, who did I ask you that question, Ty? Who do you think? Outside of if you remove Koulibaly, let's assume we're not looking at him. And if you remove the lead, of all the defenders we're linked with, who amongst them do you think is capable of leading the back line when Thiago Silva isn't playing? Okay, looks like Ty isn't there, but that's by the way. DJ, look at this comment on the screen. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's from True Blue, one of the first comments today, but I highlighted it because there's something out there that suggests so. But to me, I'd say it's absolute nonsense. And it says there are stories that Boehly is at odds with Tuchel's transfer plans. It seems that the two numbers guys are not getting the same totals.
Yeah.
That's a funny way to end it. But your thoughts on that comment?
Yeah, I think when I first came on your stream, I did mention the talks or the tweets and rumors that were going around that, you know, Todd Boehly was not, you know, he was trying to go over Tuchel's head with some of the things that's been obviously being discussed and stuff like that. And what True Blue's basically saying there is exactly what I was trying to say. I'm not saying again. This is we keep saying these are tweets, these are rumors going around. We don't know 100% certain what's been discussed. Todd Boehly apparently said when he first came to Chelsea, he sat down with both the managers from the ladies team and the Chelsea and the men's team, and sat down on what the plan for the futures are. And you know, they've already done that with the ladies team by signing 2 players already for the women's team. So that plan is already beginning there. I think with Thomas Tuchel's situation, I think it's, you know, it's the players that have been discussed, and I'm sure they've got this plan in place of of the players they want to bring in. But I think why a lot of Chelsea fans are getting a bit, as I said, over it, getting a bit worried about the situation is because of the news that's been done with other clubs, and Chelsea seem to be left behind. So look. Again, all I can say is, right, I believe in this ownership. I think they will. I think Thomas Tuchel and Todd Boehly will get it sorted out, and we will see these players coming in. The only time I'll start stressing and worrying about it is if things start not happening and we're coming towards the later stages of the transfer window, and I'm not seeing anything coming in at Chelsea. Then I can more or less then say, okay, we're basically gonna. Obviously, this guy doesn't seem to care if we finish outside the top 4, because there's a possibility, coach, and a lot of Chelsea fans will probably have to come to grips with this. I'm you know, that if we don't get the players that we want, we could finish outside the top 4. It's as simple as that. Tottenham are strengthening, Arsenal are strengthening. You know, they could be the 2 clubs, and let's not forget Newcastle bringing place in as well. These Aston Villa. These clubs are all spending, and if Chelsea don't start getting things done and sorted out soon, we could find ourselves out of that top 4 very quickly. You know, but I'm confident we have the manager, and I think we can do it. It's just that we need to get our business sorted out as soon as possible. But there is slight concerns. I can see where True Blue's coming from, though.
Yeah. How about you, Tobago? Anything to say about that?
No, I've got nothing to say. I think DJ said just wrapped it up nicely.
Yeah, Ty, how about you? Are you like 10 miles away from your, camera and stuff? Okay. So I think Ty isn't available now. So Tobago, your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today?
Again, I will say this again and again.
Or just quickly, DJ, how well do you know about this player? Should we be looking at him?
David Raum. To be honest with you, I don't know much on him. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I do. I don't. I don't.
Okay. Do you know him, Tobago?
I've just saw him in the international that we were playing. He played for Germany on a left back or left wing back. He's a good player. So, but I haven't seen a lot from him. So I don't know. We'll wait and see if we beat for him.
Yeah.
But Ty knows about him.
Yeah, but Ty is on vacation right now. Just let us know your final thoughts on everything we talked about today, Tobago. And I know, have you told DJ you're planning to launch a channel soon?
No, I haven't talked to him yet. I was about to talk with him.
Brilliant, mate.
But yes. Again, I will emphasize this. Chelsea fans need to be patient. Unfortunately, I'll say we have a lot of players under our books. So if you don't make our business right, we'll end up being with 50 players in our contract, and then we need to pay all of them. So that will affect the team a lot. So I think from 1 July, a lot of players that were out of loan will be sold or released, or keep those we need to keep and stuff until we do major signings. Because remember, Chelsea used to generate a lot of money with those loans. So now FIFA introduced a new loan system. We need to respect it and then sign players smartly. So with Lukaku, with Lukaku, I hope Lukaku goes to Inter Milan. Wish him well, and then no more problems in our club. No more power player. We don't need power player in our club. All players need to respect our coach or our manager. And with Jules Kounde, I hope Chelsea can secure this deal soon. If not this week, I don't see this week, maybe next week. Because like if Barcelona beat for him and get him, man, just fan base will be crazy. But overall, great stream. People like the channel and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, and look out for the launch of Tobago's YouTube channel. And what we're going to do once he's ready to launch, we will be on the show here and we'll let people know here's the link to Tobago's YouTube channel. It's launching today. So we'll join there and celebrate the launch of his channel. It signifies the growth of the Chelsea 100%. Community. And he's in South Africa. That's to show you how big the Chelsea community is growing. Yep. And also, Fairboy also started his own YouTube channel called Fair Chelsea Analysis. And you know how good Fairboy is in terms of analyzing games, analyzing players. So if you haven't, go check out Fairboy's YouTube channel. Again, I'm looking forward to that. DJ, have I asked you your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today?
Yeah, you did. As always, like Tobago. So I'm looking forward to his channel, by the way. I'll be subscribing to that. Once that's on, so keep me DM me on how that's all going, Tobago. Yeah, so at least I know what's going on. In terms of my final thoughts, like Tobago said, everyone smash the like button and like the video, subscribe to the channel. All I'll say again is, don't worry about the business Chelsea you're not doing at the moment. I wouldn't start hitting the panic button stations yet. We have got still some time in this transfer window. It's only just open. Just believe in your club and believe in what your club is trying to do and your manager. And I do believe we will do that. I know there are a lot of fans out there that are getting very impatient about our lack of business, and I can understand that as well. But I really, really think that this once one player comes through the door, you'll start seeing more and more merging. But we also got to get rid of players as well at the same time. Let's not forget about that as well, because we still have a high wage bill, and we got to get some of them players off that wage bill as well.
And we have to be careful how much we agree to pay those that are coming in, because it's going to set a dangerous precedent. Ty, you have any final thoughts? I know.
Yeah, and I feel very bad because I barely added anything to the stream. I said
no worries. Just go ahead, brother. No worries about it. Just go ahead.
Yeah. DJ's the contrast to me. I'm really concerned. I mean, yesterday I was fine, but I mean, considering what I'm seeing with the club, I mean, we could get signings. It's not impossible to get signings, but the signings that we may possibly miss out on, those are my concerns, because these players are quality. Fine, Tchouameni, we lost out on Tchouameni. He was worth 85 million. Fine, that's one player. Bazuma was an alternative you could have thought of, pretty cheap, and I think maybe there's other reasons. Law reasons why Brighton accepted such a low price for him, you never know. So that's fine. But to miss out on other players like your Jesus or players that could actually benefit the team, because we always speak about the fact that Tuchel likes to use these type of general forward or these wide inside forwards players in his teams. Like you saw that with Mbappe. Mbappe is not like a target man. He's like he's a player that goes wide. So sometimes you'll see him on the left, sometimes you'll see him on the right, and sometimes he'll be in the center. So players like that is what you'd have wanted. I mean, it's not fully confirmed with Jesus, but it's pretty looking likely. There's certain things like that, with centre back options, Bastoni, Skriniar, and things like that. That if they come in, they'll do a job.
But if we don't do anything and other clubs are interested in them, although the only likelihood right now for Inter Milan based players is that Chelsea could try something with them, but the other players like the right-sided defender I got it wrong. He was actually on loan at Atalanta from Juventus.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then you have him. But if we're not doing anything right now and other clubs are showing great interest in them, and not to mention the left wing back position, I'm not really sure how it's going to go. So that is my concern. I'm concerned.
Yeah.
DJ says that, believe in the club, and I want to believe in the club, but I need to at least see some movement. Make a £1 bid for somebody. Do something. Show that you're not sleeping. Do something. It doesn't need to be that you're going to sign that player. Just do something. Show some interest.
All right, I get your point. And I totally understand your frustration. But here's the thing: I think we'll be all right. This is Todd Boehly's. This window is what he has to show. We're ready to move the club forward. We're ready. We're going to do well. But that's by the way. And with that, I want to say thank you to everyone on the panel, and to those in the chat, Josiola, Trublu, all, and then Leon Lane, Lee joined us today. Damien Dolph, and everyone else. If I missed your name, my apologies to you. I'm only human. And thank to Max from Button Ballers for joining. Again, I sincerely do appreciate your support. See you guys tomorrow for another Blue Monday show. And the automated stream will be on in a few hours, or let's say 2 hours time. So you can follow it and you have all your, almost your favorites, Chelsea content creators in terms of from the perspective of Twitter. I'll be streaming at their feeds, so you get to know what's going on with Chelsea activities in the transfer window. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers and God bless us all. Bye.